Regal Movie Masters. Unlimited.
This is a Regal Movie Masters Unlimited podcast where we indiscriminately watch every goddamn movie that comes out at the local theaters. This week being no exception. Let me tell you, your movie masters today are Justine.
Hi.
Brent.
Hello.
Dylan.
What's up?
And I'm Colin. Today we got on the docket for you Blue Beetle, DC's latest superhero offering, Strays, Bark Bark, back on the strip, and Landscape with Invisible Hand. And we'll get into all those guys and more. We do have an email you can reach us at, not to brag. It's moviemasters760@gmail.com. That's moviemasters, plural, 760@gmail.com. Hit us up if you have any questions, comments, etc. And let us know if it's okay to read your name on the air, because we do default to anonymous. Also, as always, everything we're going to be talking about here is going to be all spoilers, all the time, everything, no exception, no mercy. Let's start with the old Blue Beetle, shall we? This is DC Comics' latest offering. So this one follows the Jaime Reyes iteration of the Blue Beetle, not to be confused with the Tim Cord era Blue Beetle. I say this as if anyone gives a single shit about the Blue Beetle legacy. Yes, this is certainly a movie. The world they're portraying, and I had kind of a difficult time figuring out like the setting exactly. Kind of feels Miami-ish, but it isn't. You know, because the DC stuff, like all the cities they're fake. Mm-hmm. Gotham isn't real. So it distinguishes it. And there's our you remember the name of the city?
I only remember they're in the Edge Keys.
Yeah,
that was it.
No, that's not. That's what they call themselves.
Yeah, the area.
Edge keys are like what they call themselves because they don't live in the rich part of town.
No, yeah, they're part of the town.
Palmyra City,
the Latino district. And of course, their area is getting gentrified and all of this. The Reyes family is struggling to survive. One of the kids, he goes to the big city to try to get work for this lady, Bruna Marcazzini, who plays Jenny Cord. Again, she's the daughter of the old Blue Beetle. She there's a scarab. The scarab is involved. She is taking the scarab away from Cord Industries, who are the bad guys. The kid, Jaime, he gets the scarab, and it takes over his body, and it's like a Guyver 1 kind of thing, where it's like it's biomech. Like it's not like he puts on a spider suit or gets powers. Like this thing just
gross.
Yeah, this little slice of body horror like takes him over, and he gets all Blue Beetled out. And he's like, "It's Beetle time," and starts going all ham. And from there on, the lady and him, because he likes the lady, she and him are trying to take down the bad guys who are the corporation. Because the lady,
Susan
Sarandon, who's playing herself, she has a gun against her head off screen, where they're forcing her to say the fucking dumbest dialogue you've ever heard. She's like, God, it was a great moment. Again, I drew comparison to poor Michelle Yeoh having to say Maximals maximize. They got Susan Sarandon. She's like, if we don't get the scarab for the OMAC, then we can't do the. I love it when they give these people all this jargon to talk. Anywho, so yeah, the kids are trying to undo the bad corporation stuff. It used to belong to the daughter's dad. They're trying to take it back. Now the kid is the Beetle, and the Blue Beetle, and he's going to help them do that. This is on the tail end of Walter Hamada's run as like the overseer of the DC verse. I thought we would spend this time to play who does the I Will Remember You, Will You Remember Me? The song they play over the sad puppies.
That's Sarah McLachlan.
Okay, cue Sarah McLachlan music while I read these titles, because these are sort of now vestigial strains of a quasi-DC universe. Started with Aquaman, which made some dosh, some money. That was a profitable film. Mm-hmm. Shazam 1, profitable. Things are looking good for our boy. Joker, looking good. He was, again, this is just overseers. These aren't all necessarily interconnected. He did the Birds of Prey, the Harley Quinn movie. Don't think that one did too great. Wonder Woman 84, that's COVID thing, so asterisk on that one. But it was a gigantic piece of shit. Suicide Squad, the good one, was also a COVID film, but
Great.
I thought it was a tremendous film. And I don't know about the money, but it doesn't matter. The Batman, which made a shitload of money. And then it gets kind of sad for him financially. You get Black Adam, Shazam 2, Flash, and now this movie, which all kind of ate shit. I'm sure this movie will make it up. Like, it'll get more once the word of mouth gets out. But yeah, it's sort of a sad end. I really think these movies are going to be, like, especially that last batch, are going to be seen as like a weird experiment to try to go back to the pre-MCU era of comic book movies. Because all of those films, that's the only thing I was thinking watching this was just, all right, this is like Green Lantern or like Wolverine Origins or the Hulk movies, like those post-Blade, pre-Iron Man / Dark Knight runs of comic book movies, which I used to, I enjoyed when they were coming out. And there's a charm to them. I didn't hate this movie. I do think it's like one of those kind of movies, though. Probably for kids. And it was made as if all of these kind of tweaks and innovations they made in superhero genre storytelling in the past, like, decade and change, like, just never happened. You know, it's because you think, you know, again, 2008, that was the year. Iron Man, led by Robert Downey Jr. And that was like, I think the first time, and correct me if I'm wrong, where like the actor's personality sort of was like the center stage instead of just, because even Michael Keaton in Batman or, you know, the Superman fella, they just kind of acted like the characters would act, you know? They didn't inject too much of their own in it, whereas Iron Man, who has no character because no one gave a shit about Iron Man at the time, he was able to just RDJ the fuck out of that thing, you know? And then you had The Dark Knight, which was the other side of the equation where you have like an auteurship level, like, oh, let's just make a good movie that happens to have like a Batman skin over it. This movie is not that. This is back to basics. Like, this is for kids. Yeah. This is, you know, goofy side characters. This is silly tech. This is colors. This is kind of bad CG. This is who gives a shit. And it's kind of a charm. I felt the same way about like Shazam 2. I liked Shazam 2 quite a bit more. Or even The Flash to an extent. And Black Adam in a big way. This has that kind of pre-MCU energy. But yeah, I don't know. This is fine and fun as like an enthusiast of the genre. I would definitely never pitch it as like a great work of film or something, but I kind of feel like this should be the norm. Like, yeah. This is what a superhero movie should be like. And then when someone does a Logan or something, like a dark, crazy take on it, you're like, whoa, that's so radically different than everything else you see. And this is like everything else you see. But at some point, everything started to be the dark, gritty, quippy, funny, personality injected, yada, yada. And all that stuff kind of started to lose its luster a little bit. And in a weird way, when you see this, which is like, oh yeah, this is for teenage boys. This is silly. This is a comic book movie. Okay. It's almost stands out because it's just so like simple.
I agree. I was thinking that too while I was watching it. I'm like, this is fun. This feels a little Batman and Robin-y, you know, that sort of thing. It's colorful. There's good guys, bad guys.
Right.
They punch each other. They win. And you don't have to be like, I don't know, thinking about something else.
Yeah.
There's that auteurship that you were talking about, but it doesn't seem the movie making is being more important than the movie. It's just the movie is the most important thing.
Yeah, it definitely didn't feel like, oh, this is connected to a bigger universe or anything.
Actually, yeah. Is it even a superhero movie?
Let's see. It's based on IP. Mm-hmm. It has that. I mean, it's a guy with superpowers, and he's, you know,
it's like tech powers.
Yeah, but so it's like Iron Man. And,
yeah.
I think what they try really hard to show, and don't especially succeed at, is like you have to show the guy being heroic before he becomes the superhero, like in like Captain America. You know, they show him standing up to the bullies before he gets the superpowers, and then he's able to do with his he has the power to do what his mind wants to do or something. or what his character stands for, because he gets the power. Instead of using it for evil or for joining Susan Sarandon's corporation or giving the Scarab back to the OMAC producers to sell to the military guys, he does the right thing and, you know, stands up for his neighborhood and his family. So I guess that's where the heroism is. I mean, very basic, like check
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of heroism.
I think it's making me realize that I like mutants.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? When it comes to superhero movies, comic book movies, I like mutants.
that was I think that was the most radical innovation of the X-Men, which I don't think they really get credit for. Not the movies, but the actual comic in the 60s. Like, it was like, fuck it. What if they just have powers? Like, no more radioactive shit falls in a guy. No more builds things that help him fly. No more tech. No more billionaires. They just fucking are this way.
Yeah.
And then how do we figure out how to make a world around it? You know, they should make an X-Men movie. I really think it would do well. I'm honest. Like,
Good idea.
yeah, just do that. But no, that is like from as a literary device and superhero sort of storytelling. I think one of the most brilliant things. It's like, fuck it. They just have it. They just are that way. No fucks given. No backstories. No, he was working at the chemical plant.
I think I prefer that.
Yeah, well, then you don't have to deal with the origin stories.
Exactly.
You cut out all that, and that's a big chunk of what this is. Oh my God, what's going on? Montage where he learns his powers. He's freaking out. Everyone's freaking out when the suit takes over his body. They think he's possessed, so on and so forth. So, you know.
But I can accept that in this. Like, there are too many superhero movies and then retellings of the same superhero in different movies that are like, we don't need this origin story anymore. We know Batman's parents die.
Right.
We know Superman's an alien. This is like, who? Raise your hand if you know Blue Beetle. Okay, I'm just gonna make this quick. You know,
I think I know the Blue Beetle. First of all, I 100% thought this was a Booster Gold movie.
Oh,
Because I swap them out. And Booster
okay.
Gold's cool though. He's from the future and he just has tech from the future. And he's just a dickhead
Yeah.
with fucking future tech. So he stumbles into it. That's a funny concept. But this isn't that. So thus I know nothing about the Blue Beetle except for he was a Charleston character who I think Alan Moore used a lot of them for the Night Owl character in Watchmen.
yeah, it looks just like that. It's
Yeah,
really
so-
cool though.
So when the beetle thing busts out of the ocean, it looks just like in the Watchmen movie / comic when the owl
owl.
pops out of the water. But yeah, it's, I guess an origin story is a little bit less grown worthy to deal with when it is totally new to me, at least.
I'll tell you who the real hero of this movie was. George Lopez.
Yeah, and I'll say this: I can identify tokenism when I see it. And I think one of the through lines, regardless of what culture they're sort of just inserting, I'm really frustrated. Like, let's say sassy black side character or whatever, and this character never talks about a family. They don't know other people. They are just disembodied, severed characters off to the side to check in and be like,
Different level
you
of
need
the
to.
It's like Bechdel, but for ethnicity.
Yeah, they just have to say some sassy, weird shit. And it's like, I mean, tokenism, like to its true original roots, was like, shit, we need to put like a black character in this like storybook to have representation. Literally just color the
They're
skin.
there.
Yeah, and we're done. And so to see a movie like this, which is like the marketing and everything, they're just like, this is Latino. We're unapologetically big time Latino, and you know, Latino director, writer, all of that. It was kind of refreshing to see, like, tell me about the family. And the cultural stuff wasn't just like, hey, you know, we like chimichangas. It was like, all right, yeah, I'm believing that they fleshed this out more as far as like the culture, rather than just like, here's the one note character that does the one beat thing. The George Lopez as the sort of like a crazy uncle character who's also a tech genius. Again, just pure comic book stuff.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, it totally worked. I've always kind of liked George Lopez. I don't know if like he's frowned upon. You get the sense that like maybe I've heard complaints.
Yeah, I mean,
Like he's too
kinda
mainstream?
I heard that, like he dropped off at a certain point and, just, went mainstream and nobody wasn't really on anybody's radar, but this performance was cool.
Yeah, I've never been bothered by George Lopez, and he's fun here. Like a conspiracy theorist kind of kooky guy, which again is in keeping with the lack of tokenism. Like it's not a stereotype you associate with Latinos, so it's like, okay, cool. We're not just banging you over the head with La Cucaracha or some shit. We're actually like putting some work into this and making some interesting characters in their own right. And the other iconic Latino cultural touchstones, you got Motley Crue. There's some Dragon Ball Z action when the fight scenes. When he brings out the giant sword. Where are you on that one, Dylan?
Still don't know if it's Cloud from Final Fantasy or Berserk.
Either way, we're talking about two iconic Latino
Giant swords.
cultural touchstones.
Yes.
Great to see. But yeah, just I don't know. It's a fun movie. I think that's when the Motley Crue song comes in and they're crushing people with the spider bot, which is an actual sentence I just said.
The Beetle bot.
Beetle bot. Okay. Giant mech.
board.
Giant beetle mech.
There you go.
Yeah, the Motley Crue song starts playing, and then at that point in the movie, I did switch over. I was like, okay, I was like 49, 51, and that just pushed me over to the 51. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm having fun. They are now in climax mode. This is okay. I'm cool with this.
I liked that part a lot. It was very unexpected. I was like, all right, this is good. With the George Lopez thing, I know that he's one of these people that people just like. And I was in a theater. It was pretty well attended, but everything he said, people laughed.
Right.
Like everything he said was like
That was me.
the jokes were they were hitting, and I was like,
Yeah.
I think I want to make a test where you just turn off the audio and then you have him on screen saying something and people will still be like, ha ha ha, that was funny. Some of the stuff wasn't very funny. Some of the characters a little like a bit much, but I think that's the George Lopez thing, is to be a bit much. So fine. That and then the grandma. It was a little after a bit. I was like, okay, I got the bit. I got it the first time. I got it the second time. Okay.
When she pulls out the giant machine gun, I so wanted like her to start breakdancing or rapping after that. It's been too goddamn long since I've seen a rapping granny, And if anyone was gonna do it, it would have been this one. But
I
lo
was
and behold.
feeling like if they make a superhero movie or scary movie,
Right.
after this, that would obviously be a big part of it. I'm sure then you could have the grandma breakdance.
Oh,
she would probably also like peel her face off, and it's like a
thing we're going like a parody movie of like the last 5 years of superhero movies. Oh my god,
this would be in it, and that scene would be there, and she would like take off the face like Mission Impossible, and it would just be some spy guy.
They'd all have sombreros and shit.
But people would have to see Blue Beetle to
Yeah.
get, you know what I mean, in the first place.
I think that's part of the reason why you're seeing the decline, the absolute murder of these parody films, is that there's such an atomization of entertainment. I don't think these films are the cultural touchstones they once were.
Maybe that's what saves it. People are like, man, I really want to enjoy these parody movies. Better watch the other movies.
Yeah, I gotta
brush up.
I caught wind of a fucking another one coming up called Not Another Church Movie.
That's happening?
Yes, it was in the preview of a movie we're going to talk about in a bit called Back to the Strip. There's a trailer in the theater, but I have not been able to find one on YouTube.
What?
Look it up. You can Google it right now. Not Another Church Movie.
Okay.
It's like a Medea Tyler Perry parody, and it's looks fucking bonkers.
Colin,
what's up, dude?
I know you already touched on this, but like when Motley Crue started playing that riff, right?
Yes.
To what was the song called again?
Let's Kickstart My Heart.
Yeah, when Kickstart My Heart, when that riff started playing, I remember on the corner of my eye,
Yes.
you leaned forward and we both simultaneously looked at each other.
Yes.
And we're like 3-5 seats away from each other.
Right. Sitting very far apart in the most heterosexual way possible.
Because I can't stand sitting next to someone.
Aggressively heterosexual.
When that happened, right? Would you say that is the part where the movie finally got good?
I think I was like I said, I was 50-50, and that pushed me over to 51. I think that's
where he decided to have fun.
That's when the fun started
Okay.
for me.
All right.
For my money.
You didn't have fun.
I didn't say I didn't have fun. I said I was 50-50.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. But I will say, in terms of the Blue Beetle movie,
yes.
I will say the third act, which is, I'm going to guess that's the third act.
Yeah. When they start fighting everyone.
Yeah, once Kickstart My Heart starts playing, it's the third act.
Yeah.
It's the best part of the movie.
Yeah, no, just the beetle crushing or just everything that follows?
Beetle crushing was the
No,
best
yeah,
part.
it's like you remember like, oh yeah, these movies are supposed to have fucking action in them.
Yeah.
And then action happens.
Well, there was some action, but it's kind
Yeah.
of sparse.
And again, true to my pre-MCU 2008 theory,
Yes.
complete PS2 fights, like PS2 cutscene fights, like the Blue Beetle and the bad guy, who we'll just call the bad guy,
Big Red Beetle.
Omac man. Yeah, like those two fighting, and it's just like, oh boy, we have learned nothing. It's
Yeah.
just CG on CG
I
on
did-
CG.
I did enjoy that, dude.
Yeah.
At least it looked good. Because, like, once that bad guy Beetle, once it starts charging at Blue Beetle, I was fucking crying. Because I was like, oh man, that looks so funny.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so sick. Like these movies. As a non-Mexican, though,
Right.
you, not me.
Myself.
Yes. Did you feel like they were hammering anything on you?
No, I mean it's also hard to call when it's just like a mashup of every kind of Latino.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the lady it's not specific. First of all, I don't know if is there a Mexico in
In
the
Mexico?
DC
Oh.
universe? Because
Good question.
this movie was filmed in El Paso,
No,
Does it take
remember
place
we
in El
said
Paso?
we looked it up because I was like, "Is this L.A. or is this
Miami.
Miami?"
Closer to Miami.
Yeah,
right?
but we looked it up and it says it's based out of El Paso, like Texas.
Yeah, like the fake city that this
like
takes place
canon
in.
movie story, it takes place in
In whatever the
what
fake
would
city
be El
name.
Paso.
Yeah,
That makes
I
no
guess.
sense.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, in the way like Metropolis is New York, Plumeria City.
Is El Paso, Texas?
No way.
No.
But then everything
Is
about it screams L.A. or
I know.
Miami.
You're
Yeah.
telling me.
And it only made more sense because I remember George Lopez's seat covers on his seat say El Paso on them.
Yeah, so it's
I thought that was just like a nod to the original guy.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Because there's like, it's like a resort town, isn't it?
No, it's like a skyscraper-y business town.
I thought there was like ocean and stuff.
Well,
Yeah, there was.
I mean, I'm not saying it makes sense. It's just, you know.
Yeah, again, it is a made up city, but whatever the city that takes place, Blue Beetle ripped off. It says El Paso, Texas when I saw it.
Hmm.
And I said, hell no, it makes no sense. I've been to El Paso.
But to your question, no, I didn't feel, like I said, it didn't feel like Mexican, and especially with the lady being from Brazil, and I don't know what country of origin Guillermo from What We Do in Shadows, whose name I'll never remember.
Harvey Guillen,
Sure. It didn't feel like specifically,
Mexican.
yeah.
Well, if it's like DC fake city,
Right.
then you can just assume it's a fake world. So
Kinda.
Mexico doesn't necessarily have to exist.
So yeah, I didn't get the sense of being like it was aggressively that. It's just, you know, like I said, it's a class thing, I guess.
So it says in the comics, he's in El Paso and they're in El Paso, and then Palmera City is made up for the movie.
Oh, okay.
So even in the DC Comics, Palmera City doesn't exist?
Yeah, I
It's
guess.
complete invention.
Yeah.
All right.
Then what the hell? What did I look at? Because mine said it's based off El Paso, Texas. And I was
Well,
like,
probably what she just read, which is it's in the comics, it's in El Paso.
oh.
Either
Made
way.
it up. I liked it better.
Anywho,
I liked it. Everything was cool. That's all. I mean, like, funny, innovative, creative, bright, funny,
Vibrant.
vibrant, shocking, amazing, great,
Dripping with class.
good.
I like after in the end when they're like de-gentrifying the city, they're putting up a Siete poster, the snack food brand.
Yep.
I don't know nothing about that. If the Siete parent company is like, you know, using children to mine something, like, you know, I apologize. I don't know anything about this. I just think it's they make great snack foods, and I just like to see a little representation there, a little shout out, if you will.
People need to actually go to the theater to see it in order for it to play a certain way. You know, like this thing tanked like really bad. So
Yeah, I don't know who's gonna catch on with this, or if it like finds a home streaming. Kind of seems like, again, they're just shrugging and waiting for the James Gunn big debut or something to restart this.
mhm.
I don't know what Aquaman 2 is still coming out this year.
Sure.
That'll be really weird if that makes like a shitload of money. And it's just like, oh yeah, we just didn't like those other guys.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a Momoa-driven thing.
Yeah, no one cares about Blue Beetle. I don't give a shit about the Flash. But you put Jason Momoa as Aquaman. It worked once. It'll work again. It'd be really funny. But I don't know. That doesn't change the fact that these aren't, kind of fun in their own right. So Blue Beetle, are we going to suit up, or are we going to toss the Scarab aside? I'll suit up. I'm not going to pretend this is like a great work of art or anything, but I just kind of like these movies in their just dumb raw form. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with this movie. It was fine. The end.
Yeah, I'll suit up. Take the Kronos Beetle in its gold form.
Yeah.
It looks like that Kronos Beetle from Kronos, the GDT movie.
Okay.
But I thought it was neat. You didn't get a whole bunch of backstory about the beetle itself. It was kind of funny. I remembered way later that there was that whole like Antarctic scene.
Right, which is the opening of the movie.
Yeah. Doesn't need to happen, really. I thought everyone played well off of each other. It was nice to have like a cast that sort of seemed like they were all in the movie together. The Susan Sarandon character was kind of wild.
You know, it was a dumb thing about the movie that I liked. I'm just remembering now.
Mm-hmm.
This is so comic book movie where like the bad guy corporate person is also like the spokesperson of the company, and is every commercial, every piece of promo. She's like, "Hi, I'm Susan Sarandon, the evil CEO character, and I'm a good person." What other?
Yeah.
Good dumb comic logic.
I like it. Like very RoboCop. We're gonna make a mechanical army, but then they're bad. I thought it was fun. The music is funny. It has that weird like 80s thing that is in everything.
Yeah, the weird Prince font for no reason.
Yeah, it's all like chrome.
Yeah,
and
it
stuff.
looks very like a vaporwave template.
And it kind of has that vibe with like the lights and whatnot in the movie.
Sure.
But it's totally fine with this because it's kind of sci-fi.
I'm going to start to suit up. I'm going to put the little booties on, gonna get it up to my knees, maybe get the pants on. Then I'm going to get on my phone. I'm going to text the other superheroes I'm supposed to meet. I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm on the way. And then I'm going to open Instagram. I'm going to kind of look around. I'm going to get on Twitter. I might check my email. And then, oh, the movie already happened. I missed it. Sorry. I mean, like when Colin said 49:51, I felt that. Like, there was a lot of it that I liked, and there was a lot of it where I was just like, I have seen too much of this in my life. What am I doing with my life? That kind of thing. So yeah, I'm halfway there on this one. I again, it's not a great movie. It's not a terrible movie. George Lopez, if he wasn't in it, I think I could go terrible with it. But
Right.
because he's in it, and because I just like Justine said, like I am that target. You put him on screen, I'm gonna laugh. He doesn't have to do much, and I will laugh. So I enjoyed that part. That's why I got half the suit on.
Okay.
I'm suiting up. Gonna fucking blast some Motley Crue. Shout out the devil. We're gonna kill some people and then say we're not gonna kill some people. That's it. I'm gonna suit up, dude. Blue Beetle, probably the best superhero movie of the year.
God damn it!
If you disagree, you're racist.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Dude. The post-credit screen, though, where they tease Tom Cord. I can't believe the next Blue Beetle movie that's definitely coming out, we're going to get Tom Cord, iconic character from the Blue Beetle.
OG Blue Beetle.
Dude.
You think he'll come back and he'll have that suit on?
I think this is the beginning of an empire. This is the age of the Blue Beetle we're in. Like, maybe the first one doesn't make money, but they're fine. The second one and onward is once Tom Cord comes back.
Oh, I will say this though. Congratulations to the studio for actually putting this movie out.
Yeah.
We didn't think it would happen.
I assumed this would not happen.
Yeah.
Until I was in the seat and the logo came up and like 25 minutes of the movie went by and it didn't turn into a different movie. I was like, okay, maybe they are releasing the Blue Beetle actually.
Halfway through, you were convinced that they were releasing this movie.
You can't just throw a fucking poster up and have me say, oh, it definitely exists. Like, no. This day and age, they're canning half of this bullshit that they're putting out. But this one, they committed. They dropped it.
You did it.
And now everyone's watching it and everyone's talking about it and everyone loves Blue Beetle.
Dude, how sick would it have been if like they just filmed the first 10 minutes,
right?
And then like all of a sudden an error screen came up, and then all of a sudden
Yes.
you get the second half of the Snyder cut.
Yes.
Like Joker and them are in the Doomsday world.
Right, like at the
Whoa.
post-dream sequence and it's black and white.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy, Batman?
Dude, that'd be so fucking hard. Then it's like 45 minutes of that, and that's the end of the movie.
We can all agree we need more Zack Snyder DC
Yeah.
movies.
An error screen that cuts the Snyder cut.
We are giving you a better movie now. Zack Snyder comes on screen. Welcome back to the movie.
Thank you for coming back to the movies. Now let's sit back, relax, and have a great time.
Don't tell anyone.
We'll continue the Blue Beetle on a smaller screen in the corner of the movie. You can watch what's going on there, but on the big screen, the main screen is going to be the rest of my movie that I didn't get to shoot enough of because I had more footage.
The Blue Beetle screen just gets smaller and smaller as time progresses.
As Ben Affleck Batman just gets larger and larger. Yeah. And they're all like shot in different years. So it's like different haircuts, everything. They're
Would
not
be so sick.
Yeah, they're not trying to do anything with like Henry Cavill's mustache. They're just letting it rock. Zero effort put into it.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Could have happened. Strays is a movie directed by Josh Greenbaum. He did Bob and Star Go to Vista Del Mar.
Okay.
And it was written by Dan Perrault, who did American Vandal. That I forgot. It was like a series on Netflix, I think. Basically, not a lot of credits under these folks' belt. You got 4 dogs, voiced by Will Ferrell, Jamie Foxx, Isla Fisher, and Randall Park. These dogs, you got Will Forte as a bad guy. Will Forte is a bad dog owner, and he's mean to the Will Ferrell dog. And he kicks the Will Ferrell dog out of his house after much ado. And the Will Ferrell dog has to learn the street life from the dog Bud, played by Jamie Foxx. And he's, teaching him the byways of the streets. They meet up with the other 2 folks. They're like, we're now a pack of 4 fun, silly dogs. And Will Ferrell's like, F that Will Forte guy. I'm going to go bite his dick off. And that's like a joke they were very proud of because they say it a lot. And then the rest of the movie, they're trying to find their way back to Will Forte's house to exact revenge on him for being a bad owner. And let me tell you, if you think this is a cute dog movie where they're just going to have fun, no, these dogs are rude. They use foul language.
This movie is rated R.
Yeah, for really good.
And sex.
Oh, they have. Yeah, they go really into the doggy stuff. They hump. They pee on things.
Hey, did you catch that joke where the one dog says that the garden gnome is his son and he has sex with him? Because if not, they repeated it a few more times for you.
Yeah, listen, look, I'll cut to the chase. I hated this movie. I did not like it. I saw the trailer and I thought this is going to be really bad, and then I watched the movie and it was very bad. So I think like this, like the soft pitch I can say is like watch the trailer, and if you think it looks really funny and fun, then you'll probably like the movie because I think the trailer is a good representation of the film, objectively. Comedy wise, obviously it's subjective in a lot of ways, but like what I found so irksome about the movie, the comedy doesn't work, but then there's these like recap callbacks to jokes that they do like 10 minutes earlier in the movie, like a lot. And then there's a lot of these like slow motion walking scenes where they play like a dad rap song and they make it all slow motion. They show the dogs walking and they're supposed to think it's like cool. And it just really indicates to me that they did not have a lot of material to work with.
Not at all.
So like the comedy might not have been my thing, but I think objectively I can look at this and say there wasn't a lot of quantity of jokes or humor. I've been on this Woody Allen kick. I watched like some of his earlier movies. I saw Love and Death is the movie I'm obsessed with right now. And it's like, man, a movie just dense with like visual gags, puns, dialogue, character-driven stuff, and it's rapid fire, boom, 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 joke, like this dense white dwarf of comedy. And then you get to this movie, and it's just like, hey, earlier I said that gnome that I was having sex with was my son, or like, just the same. Like,
are we going to bite a dick off today?
You have to go. Don't quit on us. We have to go bite that guy's dick, like you said we would, like. Repeating the bits over and over. And the whole premise kind of is like they're cute dogs, but they say naughty things, right?
All right, we have to be positive for 1 minute. What were we laughing at during this? I remember laughing at one part. Was it Will Forte?
There's Will Forte's always fun. And Will Ferrell, is funny.
I think he did that on his cell phone. The audio quality was different.
Who's the actor that has the cameo? The bird watching guy?
Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid. That was a
That's what we were laughing at.
one
Okay.
A+ solid joke. He's like a bird watching guy because they're in the forest. And he sees a bird. He's like, oh, I've never seen that before. And he opens his book and it's just the word bird written over and over again with like boxes that are checked. And then he goes to the one that says bird and he checks it off.
It's like super rudimentary, like second grader.
Great sight gag. And then like a little bit later, he's like, man, that's the craziest thing I've ever seen. And I'm Dennis Quaid. Because you think it's Dennis Quaid playing like a bird watching guy, but then he just says he is Dennis Quaid. And that is very funny. But then they fuck it up because later on in the movie, they're looking back. They're like, remember when we saw Dennis Quaid in the forest? It's like they draw attention to it, which makes it not funny. But this is the men where we're being positive. So
you went over a minute. You're good.
I'll leave that part out.
Yeah.
So it is not completely bereft of humor. There is that bit in it. But yeah, generally speaking, I think this is not for me. Put it that way.
Yeah, this movie was very not for me. I just happened to have time and then was able to go see it. And I was really tired. I kind of fell asleep during the middle of it because it was that boring. Like, it's not engaging, really. I didn't think it was funny. And because maybe it was really repetitive with some of the jokes, too, you just kind of, I don't know, just kind of tuned out. I don't know why they ended up in the pound when then they had to get all the dogs to poop at the same time. I don't know how they got there.
Oh, is that when you passed out?
Yeah.
Oh.
So they're in the woods, like on the way back to the thing, and there's a little missing girl, a Girl Scout, and the police dog, which
Rob Riggle.
voiced by Rob Riggle, the Randall Park dog. He was trying to try out for the police force, so he knows that dog, who's a cop, and then the cop dog sees him out there, and he's like, "Oh, we're cool. Don't worry about it. Have you seen this girl? No, foreshadowing. You're gonna find her later. It's fine." That's the heart of the film. And then they're like, okay, well, you guys are strays, so you're going to go over to the pound.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Because they were out there.
Yeah, because they were out there, and then the police were looking for the girl. They found the dogs who were strays, put them in the dog pound to get out. They all had to take a shit at the same time. And then a guy comes in, he slips on the shit. He's like, oh, I got dog shit all over me. Yeah, pretty highbrow stuff.
Yeah. There were like a few couples in there when I watched it, and two of them really, really liked it. One couple was laughing at everything, and I could tell that there's like dog people will get this kind of jokes, and then there were other ones that were just kind of like crude stuff.
Yeah.
But then there was a couple I didn't even realize were there because they were totally silent, and I kind of felt like them too, which is like, I want something to be funny. That bird joke was funny.
Yes.
I just kept getting the feeling that like funny people didn't write this movie. I don't know who wrote it. It doesn't feel like Will Ferrell. I don't know who those other people were. The dogs were.
Jamie Foxx was a Boston Terrier.
Yeah, I don't know who those other people were. Those other dogs.
Oh,
were.
Isla Fisher. She was like the redhead from Wedding Crashers. Australian, obviously.
I don't know who she is. So.
She had a moment kind of around Wedding Crashers.
Well, I'm like, are these people comedians? I don't know. It just didn't seem like it was written by comedians, I think.
I mean, like all that cast is for the large part like friends in real life. So it might have been just a project where they're like, yeah, we don't even got to like get dressed. We could just get on our phones and do our parts. And
it had a pretty significant budget, like in the like 50 million. Which is like
that I'm laughing harder than I did during the whole movie.
Yeah.
It's funny. Hey, Dylan, you were supposed to go see that with somebody that wanted to see it. How did that experience go?
46 million, sorry.
Oh, okay.
It made 46?
No, it costs $46.
Oh, okay.
$46 million to make.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, made 46? What was the budget? I'm not trying to say that she wanted to watch it. It's more or less like, we can do that.
Oh, it was an option. Okay.
Yeah. It's whatever.
Well, how did it go?
She kind of liked it. She wasn't like the biggest fan or anything. I feel like in the theater itself, there was like maybe 10 other people there. Mm-hmm. And there was some laughter. There was a couple in front of me that were like really stoked. I honestly was like, I was telling Colin, I thought he was pulling my leg, but I was like, man, this is like the comedy of the year.
Yeah.
Very funny and very like creative. It was great. It was
Dude, isn't
amazing.
it nuts that like the same weekend that they dropped the superhero movie of the year, they also put out the comedy of the
That's
year?
what I said. I was like, they're fucking
Wow,
with me.
dude.
Hollywood is literally fucking with me. The same
Wow.
weekend,
Yeah.
they're gonna put out 2 fucking bomb ass movies in their respective genres, and I'm gonna have to sit there and watch them and go, "Holy shit! They're reinventing the fucking cinema experience again."
Yeah,
And,
again.
you know, again, I'm so stoked. Some scary parts. I fucking threw some popcorn in the air. I will admit. There are some funny
Fireworks?
parts where, like, no, the scary part is when those 2 dogs started hassling Will Ferrell, Reggie.
Oh man, that was terrifying.
Fucking scared, dude. And then like gut busting.
Oh, the humor?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were like, you know, hey, that dog had a big dick, and I had to look away. I was like, oh shit.
Dude,
Like,
but
that's
like
shock
think about
and
it.
terror.
Like, you know how they say that like all comedy is based on truth? Like
Sure.
there are some dogs with big dicks, dude.
Yeah, you
so
have
like
to look at
that
it.
part really got me because it's hilarious.
I feel like just addressing the idea of dog dicks is hilarious because it's like that's just inappropriate
yeah,
to do
think
in
about it,
general.
like,
So
Yeah.
to have the courage and strength as a
you're not
filmmaker,
supposed to talk about
it's
dog dicks.
naughty. These
So like
guys,
to just like put it out there like in a mainstream movie.
saying.
That's what he's saying. Is like it's reinventing cinema.
That's what I'm. That's what I'm
Fuck,
saying.
dude.
$10 million opening weekend, $46 million budget.
Is that good? Well, how much does it cost to suck?
I was just like, you know, and again, you shouldn't, budgets and money and all that shit is no indication of quality necessarily.
Right.
But pulling together $46 million to make this movie, I was like, yeah, you motherfuckers deserve to be bankrupt. Like anything bad that happens to this industry, you deserve it if this was your genuine idea of like an entertaining pitch to anyone. And apparently they're being proven correct at the box office. Okay, Dylan, now that you're listening again, it's really weird that they're not.
Well, I was gonna say
Unfortunately, people aren't
I
catching on.
liked it a lot. Honestly, like everyone, if you're listening right now, if you're able, because it's rated R, so if you're like 17 and up, I would recommend go watching this in the theater, like in a packed crowd, if you could. Obviously, I'm not saying
Find them.
Yeah, invite people, buy tickets in advance for your friends and family.
Buy it out.
Yeah,
Hey,
and
pay it forward, dude.
let's watch the movie, have fun, relax. This movie was actually off the hook,
Are
dude.
animals on
Off the
actor
leash.
strike?
Off the leash.
This movie was unleashed, bro.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Did you hear the comedy? I'm sorry, what were you saying, Justine?
I was saying, are animals on strike for
Oh,
acting?
good point. Good point. Yeah, see, that's the thing. If they could have promoted the movie,
Yeah, they could have had all those dogs get to promote their film.
Fuck.
That's a great
Dude,
point.
imagine that red carpet. Just 4 dogs.
Just
I guess it's
poop
like 8
all over
dogs.
it,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that would be the funny thing.
that's funny. I
Yeah.
think it's really funny when
Yeah,
animals.
and then they could sell merch that was fake poops.
yeah,
Dude, and like if a dog with a big dick was walking on that red carpet,
so fucking
The
funny.
insult dog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Triumph.
It's just like on the red
Yeah.
carpet.
Yes.
Interviewing real dogs.
talk about doing more with less.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a piece of rubber and 2 colors.
Anyway, no, this movie was great, man. I don't know. I like that one joke when they cut off Forte's dick off.
Right.
I forgot his name. I was like, John Wilton?
Will Forte.
Will Forte. It's John Wilton.
They really portrayed marijuana users in a bad light. Like that was like Will Forte's whole personality.
I was
It was
kind of
like
cool with that. 'Cause,
boxes of-
that style of weed smoker, I don't like.
I'm just saying, if I was like, I don't know, I'm a
Stoner.
comic book enthusiast or whatever. So it's like if the bad guy of the movie just had like boxes of comics everywhere and his whole thing was being into comics, and then he was a bad guy, I'd be like, oh man, that's kind of mean.
That's Glass.
Just saying, there's a lot of
Or
but he was
Unbreakable, there you go.
he was a cool kind of bad guy. But no, it's just like it's a very
That's so ready.
poor portrayal of weed smokers. Strays, are we going to adopt, or is this one for the dogs?
Is that which one's good?
What's the bad
The
one?
good one is you adopt it because it's in the pound.
But for the dogs?
Yeah, it's like,
It's like a compliment, isn't it?
no. What to who?
To dogs.
Are we going to rescue this the movie, or do we leave it in the pound?
There you go.
Okay, I'm gonna leave this one in the pound. This was not good.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave this one. It's just not good. It's not very funny. It's not very fun. There are a couple of jokes in it, but mostly you're just gonna be like, poop again. More of this humping stuff. Okay, I'm over it very early on.
Trick question, because this one can't be rescued. Like Dylan said, it is the comedy event of the year that revolutionized cinema. Very scary at parts, very funny at parts, gut busting throughout. And no, I didn't like it.
I'm gonna save it. Whatever the Will Ferrell Terrier dog is, the Yorkie, whatever.
Boston Terrier.
Is his dog a Boston Terrier?
Oh no, Boston Terrier is Jamie Foxx, and then like it's like a mutt for
I'll save that fucking mutt, and I'm like, yo, come here, dude, and then like do this to his belly, and just hang out with him. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, go listen to it. I would go after dinner so you're not hungry, and I would go like not tired, and like ready to go for an hour and a half of just gut busting jokes. You're gonna fucking die of laughter. I'm just saying. I was there.
How much sleep would you recommend getting the day before you watch Strays?
12
hours sleep. So you're well rested.
Yeah, like real, but real talk. Exercise. Go for a long run before you go, because I don't want you to think about I don't want you to think about exercising while you're in the movie.
But while you're in the movie, drink a Red Bull so you're awake.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're hyper alert.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe some Skittles. I don't know.
You're not gonna be like fidgeting too much, or
No, you're already laughing from fucking hard jokes.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's a good movie.
Landscape with Invisible Hand is directed by Corey Finley. He did Thoroughbreds and Bad Education, which I haven't seen. It was written by him, Corey Finley, and M.T. Anderson, and this is his only writing credit. So I don't know how to describe this. I don't know if this is like an established phrase or anything, but I would call this a slice of life sci-fi adventure, which is to say, like, you establish a premise, and in this film, really quickly and in a really smart and economic way, they establish that it's the year 2030-ish?
2036.
2036, and that aliens landed maybe like 5 years ago or something. So it's a post-alien colonized world, and you're sort of just getting a ground level view of just what it's like for regular folks, people, humans living in this post-alien establishment. Plot-wise, I guess you're really following Adam Campbell, played by Asante Black. Him and his family are humans, and he has a little high school crush, because they still have to go to school, on Chloe Marsh, who's played by Kylie Rogers. She was in Beau is Afraid. She was a bratty girl in that. Anyways, so basically her family is like really displaced by the aliens, and so he kind of invites them in, much to his mom, played by Tiffany Haddish's dismay. They bring these kind of boarders in, and the little girl, she has this idea like, hey, we can stream our relationship to these aliens, because these aliens love this shit. They love human relationships, right? So they put these little prods on their head, and they're like, showing the beginnings of their relationship, crush, etc. And all the aliens are loving it. They're like super successful relationship streamers. And basically, all of a sudden, things kind of go south in the relationship, and the aliens pick up on it because they have like, biometric, readers, and they're just like, your heart rates are off. Like, we're not buying this. And because of the weird contract that you sign when you sign up to be a streamer, they're like, you're deceitful. And so now, like,
we can sue you.
Yeah, we're going to sue you. Your family's going to be indentured to us forever, blah, blah, blah.
For 6 generations.
And like, Tiffany Haddish, she's like a lawyer, and she looks over the contract, and they're like, yeah, you guys are kind of screwed. They have to figure out like a different route to go. And the compromise she makes, because she goes up and talks to the aliens. The aliens, it's worth noting, have like a really cool design. They're like little blocks of meat with these gross flipper things. If you look at the poster, they're on the front. And they communicate by rubbing their pads together to make this really satisfying scraping sound. So it's like not a sound that humans try to learn the language, but they can't
replicate it.
Yeah, because they don't have the biology to. So it's kind of like essentially impossible for a human to acclimate to their alien world. So they're always going to be these second-class citizens to these aliens with like insanely superior tech. So the aliens are legitimately just like, the only use we have to them is like as pets or as like amusement.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie is so smart in how they play it, because it's not like malicious. It's not like they're enslaving us, or like, a Matrix thing where they have us all plugged into some machine and are draining our juices, and there's resistance fighters. It's just like
They're just capitalistic about it.
we're just like these, afterthoughts to them, or only for their amusement. You have these humans who like shave their eyebrows because the aliens like that, and that sort of designates you as like a direct alien helper. The aliens live in these cities that float above the human cities. It seems like so dark, but it's presented as just kind of matter of fact and very like, because it's so deep into their colonization, if you will, of Earth, that all the people are used to it. So it's not presented as this horrifying way of life. It's just normal for the main characters. And so
Yeah, none of the humans are shocked by
Right.
any of the events that occur. 'Cause it's
Yes.
all within the realm of possibility.
And so, the mom basically works out a sweetheart deal to get them out of being sued. She has to be the housewife to one of the aliens because they want to experience that, like, human familial scenario. So now there's this fucking alien who in their world is like having, this billionaire or something living in their house, and they kind of have to obey whatever it says to kind of have this touristy, exotic experience with them.
It's one of the juvenile offspring of the big boss alien.
Right.
And it's basically just cosplaying as like a sitcom or like 50s era father figure in a house. And that's all it's obsessed with.
Yeah, and that's what I think is charming too, is like the aliens' kids. They're the ones who are fascinated with like the relationship streaming and all that. The fan base that these kids have built is with the younger generation of aliens. So it's, a pretty clear analogy to like, streaming and Twitch people and all that. These like huge, massive celebrities who, if you're over the age of 20, are it's like dog whistling to you. Like you're not going to be able to understand who any of these people are in this world. And I felt like the filmmaker maybe had some of that in mind when making this. Like, who are any of these people? This is what I'm going to put into my movie, is this generation gap of sorts, right? The movie unfolds. It goes into some crazy territories, but the actual meat and potatoes plot, I don't think, is what's the main feature. I think it's just such a brilliant use of this alien invasion scenario as kind of a metaphor for a lot of struggles in, American life, Western life, just life on planet Earth as it is now, with class and wealth disparity. And there's a lot of other ways you could look at this movie. I really want to watch it again to get some like kind of different interpretations of it. Cause I don't think this is just a metaphor for like the aliens are Chinese. Go.
No,
it's not that.
No. It's like both. This is 2 weeks in a row where we've had a really good alien movie, and I think a good alien movie, or can, I'm not going to say does, but can hold up that mirror to society and show you like how ugly it is. This one really showed how ugly the commodification of art is, for instance. I mean, that's like the big point that it makes.
Yeah, because the kid is an artist, and that's sort of when I said that they opened and showed in a clever way, the aliens invading. It's like his first painting that they show chronologically in the year is a family at Christmas, and it keeps going on. And then it's like the day the aliens invaded, and then it's like the painting itself. So these kind of crude paintings show what's transpired in actual human history in their world. And yeah, as the movie goes on, art kind of plays more and more of a part of the plot.
And then becomes the, I guess, finale.
Yeah, so the climax of the film,
In progress. Yeah.
they close the school down, and it's, they have this really, I swear, whoever, like, I think the filmmaker watched the events of the last, let's say, 2 to 3 years, and just was so, this is the most, like, for being kind of a light-hearted film, or like it looks bright, the aliens are fun, and it's not like, a miserable slog to get through. It's not someone lecturing you the whole time. This is a pretty fun movie to watch. It is one of the most cynical, vicious, cutting. Like, I think this is really someone watching just the worst of our behavior, our being humanity's behavior, the past handful of years, and just looking at how we'll just undermine, we'll slit our own mother's neck to get a dime ahead. How we'll always act in our self-interest. will always bow down to, a dominant oppressive force, will always acquiesce to force majeure, and will smile and act like it's the great thing. One of the fucking most cutting parts in the movie, there's like a news broadcast system playing in the background, and it's like, a very Fox News thing. And there's just a guy being like, these aliens have brought us economic opportunities, and people who are falling behind just aren't adapting to the new way of life. There's a lot of opportunities out there, blah, blah, blah. And of course, all the opportunities, it's not really said explicitly, are basically just exploiting your fellow man to gain favor with these aliens. And it's so, as a result of this kind of relationship, the school's closed down and the kid starts painting a mural on the side of the school, which I got a lot of COVID energy off of that. Like they're closing the schools, everyone has to go home and learn from home with these like learning nodes that the aliens have created to sort of teach them about alien history, which is like now the only kind of education that matters. So the kid makes this big mural, and the aliens love the mural. They want him to be like their main art ambassador, so they absorb him into their little alien world to get like an exorbitant amount of money, basically an amount of money that'll, set his family up for life and everything. But when he gets there, they've changed the mural around to make it kind of pro-alien propaganda, whereas his was sort of, just looking at how adversely they've been affected by alien life. And they see how they've distorted his art around and stolen this like literal mural off of the school, the whole wall of the side of the school, and they repaint it to like make them look great. And so, of course, really kind of funny because they're giving big kawaii anime eyes and smiles and stuff.
Yeah, everyone's happy to see them. And
and they want this kid to be like, a puppet and basically say, yeah, this alien invasion is great. I love it. And he's like, I can't do it, and kind of just goes home and keep some sense of dignity intact. And thus, he's obviously like the hero of the film in a way because he has some integrity. And there are some individuals who have like some gumption about them to kind of resist what's going on. But generally speaking, everyone in the film is just willing to just sell out as hard as they can. The fucking most brutal, another brutal part of the movie, of which there are several. The Tiffany Haddish gets a real job, so she doesn't have to deal with the fucking alien anymore. She can't deal with his like, being a patriarch of the house and playing along. And she's just like, you know what? No, fuck off. I'm not going to be your little toy anymore. I'm not going to play this game with you anymore. I'm out. And then the alien guy, just puts a fucking wig on the family that's living with him. And you see this man just pretending to be a housewife because that's what the little alien guy wants. And he's all stoked. He's like, we're going to get good favor with these guys. We're going to make some great connections. And it's like, you just see like the immediate willingness to just completely emasculate and humiliate yourself for these kind of overlords.
Yeah, that whole father of the second family that comes in the house, like the entire role was like, goes back to the cynicism you were talking about, where it's just like, yeah, we've become this culture where we now worship entrepreneurship and like billionaires and that sort of thing. So yeah, that was all commentary on that. Just like, look, this guy's willing to put on a wig and pretend, he's a 50s housewife to please this fleshy coffee table, alien or whatever. I definitely appreciated that because it's, I don't know, in a way, it's kind of like what you're talking about. Like, it doesn't do it in like a heavy-handed way.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, in a way, it reminds me of like when you're watching a beautiful swan on a lake, you're like, oh, that's really nice. But under the water, it's kicking.
Right.
Like in order to make it look so beautiful, in this case, to make the movie so funny, to make the movie so enjoyable, there's a lot of kicking under the water.
Yeah.
That's happening that subconsciously you're registering or consciously you're registering in real time. But yeah, it all makes you go, yeah, you know what? Fuck, we kind of suck.
Yeah.
But you're laughing the whole time.
And I don't think it's explicitly political, but I don't get the sense that it's that simplistic, like Twitter brain kind of politics.
Not at all.
That's kind of why I was thinking I could watch it again, because there's a good argument that you could make that this is like a very nationalistic kind of movie. I was thinking about this versus Independence Day. Like, because Independence Day is like, that's the people fighting back. That's the people refusing to give in. And it's, a very gung-ho kind of militaristic film. Whereas this is like what happens if they don't? And they just let the aliens are very much so like, hey, you guys are finally like being understanding and accepting of us. And, in peace, that we're able to find, great agreements with your greatest financial minds, and we're able to create this cohabitation of the earth. And it's like, this is what happens if you just surrender. And I think there's a way to look at that in a very kind of nationalist way, but that's obviously not like the main thrust of this film or anything.
No.
I just bring this up to say that like it's not so one-to-one in its presentation of politics, whereas again, even though I think it's a very explicitly like a message kind of movie, I don't think there's one message.
No.
And I don't think there's one like candidate they're trying to endorse more or less, like that How to Blow Up a Pipe Bomb movie from earlier this year. That was
clear.
like
Very clear.
That was like, here's our stance.
Yeah.
Literally blow up these corporations who are killing our earth. And there's no real other way to interpret that movie. I think this movie, you could look at it from a lot of different angles. And
It's a pastiche of the culture. I think you're right. It is a representation of where we've gone, in recent years. And it's a clever way of doing that without having to beat you over the head with it.
Right. And I think it's a very angry movie without, a guy with clenched teeth beating someone in the head over and over. The humans never, start like getting guns and murdering all the aliens. There's no great satisfying conclusion or anything. And it's not about like resistance or solving the problem. It's just about trying to fucking survive. And I was also thinking that this was a great contrast to that Shortcomings movie we saw a couple weeks ago, where I was complaining so much about that very specific kind of like, oh, we'll just live in Berkeley and I have a crummy job and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no one I'm watching has a job. No one's paying rent. No one's concerned about their finances. Everyone is just so in love with themselves and their own thoughts. Like, this was such a perfect contrast where it's like, yes, show me everyone struggling constantly to try to figure out to get by. Even that little girl in the movie, she's like, you kind of dislike her a little for being opportunistic, but you see that she's a hustler.
She has to.
She's like scrappy. And there's like, even by her being like, someone who's trying to exploit the relationship with the other kid in the movie for her own or their own profit, which is an easy way for you to dislike a character. You sympathize with it. You understand her situation. And it's like, this is just someone also trying to survive. And yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was like a very, very poignant and very current film, and also fun.
It's also that point is also where they're also able to get nuance in, because you're right. Everybody is scraping by and battling to exist in this alien inhabited world, but they still find a way to divide within that class. You know what I mean? So like the people living in the basement are like, oh, you're rich up there on the first level of this home that you can barely afford, and that they can seize at any moment, Yeah, I like stuff like that. Are you tempted to go S tier with this one?
Yeah, I would say so. It's somewhere, but it's at least between an A tier and an S tier. It's like definitely one of the.
I think you're right. It needs the rewatch to determine if it is full on S tier, but I was flirting with it.
Yeah, and it's just so like, I don't know, fresh.
Yes,
and also familiar, because this is also the second movie in the second week in a row that we've had.
2 in a row is so cool.
Men in Black style. and I mean, like, you're not in this for the special effects.
I should say this. It's legitimately weird.
Yeah.
And it's not forced.
No.
It's not contrived. It's just like, oh, this is like a person that wrote this book was able to carry that to the screen.
Yeah, I think with like Jules, which is the other alien movie we're talking about, that was like almost intentionally like, it's a flying saucer and it's a rubber suit gray alien.
Yeah.
Whereas this movie's like, no, we're not falling back on any of that. This is a complete different biometric system. They talk different. Everything is...
Let's invent some stuff.
Man, it was just...
They live in golf courses.
Yeah. Oh, it's just...
Having to walk down the ladder to talk to the big boss. There's so many little details to this thing that made it just sparkle, And
like it absolutely feels like a fleshed out world you're in too, like, again, it's a slice of life. And I think this is a brilliant way to do this kind of story, which is just give me a day in the life of someone living in the situation. Don't tell me how it got there. You don't have to change the situation, anything like that. Just like show me the day in the life of a, Jesus, Andor fall under this header of slice of life sci-fi, where it's like, pro or con. Here's 10 episodes of an office worker in the bureaucracy of the empire.
Yeah, I mean, before you said that out loud, I was thinking about like how like A New Hope starts. Boom, you're in it.
Right.
You know,
right.
so it's like, yeah, that DNA is definitely found its way into this movie.
Yeah, and to not have to have that giant conclusion and still have a satisfying watch. No heroes, no what are they? I guess there's, I don't know if there's some, what do they call that, the hero's journey. You could probably break it down like that for some way, but
yeah, the lead, you could probably argue that, but it's not terribly necessary.
it's so not like formulaic in any kind of way.
Haddish once again, just fucking destroying on screen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is a very special film to me. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah. I had a really weird, it's not weird in a bad way, a weird experience because I was in a different city and I was watching it by myself. And it was just like a very weird, quiet evening. I think there were other people in the theater, but it was only like 2 people. Everyone like really quiet. It was playing. And then I had the feeling afterwards, I was like, I would like to see that again. And I was just sitting, I finished watching the credits and like someone comes in and he's like sweeping up the popcorn and I'm just like sitting there and the music is really nice and it's like just playing and this feels like so quaint, you know?
Yeah.
I got the feeling, and I believe that you will see this, that this movie is going to be on like, if they still have cinema classes, like at your local college or whatever, this is definitely a cinema class movie to watch. It reminds me a lot of old movies, actually. Like I see it as like a Logan's Run, a Fahrenheit 451.
Right.
It's that kind of movie where it doesn't matter what time you'll be watching it. It conveys the same thing, which is like the things that are important to humans. What should be important is like our relationships with each other, our art, our history, and how easily some people will throw all that stuff away to get I don't know, convenience or something like that. And but it also has like a funny streak, and I was surprised that it's rated R.
I thought about that. It's the suicide scene.
Yeah, that's the only thing
That's
really.
the only
There's
thing.
some language, but it doesn't have to be. I'm not sure how I feel about it. They could have got away with a PG-13. I would hope that you would be able to reach a wider audience with that. But the R rating is also cool because, you know, they don't shy away from whatever. There's no compromising that needs to happen. But I also got like Jacques Tati vibes where like it's kind of like an absurd view of so that's all like about technology and like losing the personal touch of things to technology. And this is kind of the same way where you're kind of seeing the absurdity of people being okay with this and that in the post-work economy. Where the teachers have nothing to do, the dad doesn't have anything to do, and I guess that's the unlikable character, right? The guy that's like, "Don't disrespect me in front of my son."
Yeah, the
like,
dad.
This is my house.
Yeah, I had to really process what he was saying, along with Tiffany Haddish's character, because she's trying to be like, "Wait, what did I say wrong?" And I was kind of like, "What did she say wrong?" But when he brought it up, I was like, "I guess that's a valid point." But at the same time, it's like you're also like her guest.
Yeah, from a just effective perspective, it's really smart. So there's something innate in us that hates a bad guest. And that goes back to like
oh yeah, I did not like that guy.
That goes back to like Greek mythology and shit, where it's like if someone isn't a good host and or guest, we immediately there's just like as a species we dislike them. So if you want to show effective, like you can have someone kick a dog, you can have someone swear at their mom, or you can show someone be, you know, a bad guest in a home, and that's what they went with in this one, and it makes you immediately hate that character and then be so satisfied at the end when he
gets cucked out by the
has to humiliate himself like that.
Yeah. But that is, again, you just see like all these different kinds of people and the way that they're reacting differently to the situation. Like there's the son who's like talking all bad about everything but doing nothing.
Right.
Not offering any solutions or any help or anything like that.
Angry young man.
Yeah.
trope.
And then the little girl who's like kind of traumatized by coming up and, you know, that situation and trying to just like get out of it, just trying to get money however she can. But, you know, she's a kid. She's not dealing with it well. Yeah. Just everybody dealing with it totally differently and even under the same roof, which is really interesting to me. And it even there's such like film school stuff in it too, because it's like Okay, so the visiting family lives in the basement, and then the other people are on the ground floor, and then they come up from the basement to do the dinner with the little alien when
Right.
the guy puts on the wig, and now they're on the middle floor, and then the Haddish family are up on the second floor. Now they eat like in her bedroom and stuff like that. So they're like everyone's going up a level, up a level. But then I don't know, when he comes back from the failed art whatever thing he was going to do with the aliens, I don't know where they go, but it's neat. There's a lot to it. It seems super planned out, which I love to see in a movie, where it doesn't seem like they were trying to cater to any particular demographic or audience. It's just, this is the story, and I think they did a brilliant job of that. And that, like, I do think that you can put it in any timeline. Like 20 years from now,
Yeah.
you could probably still watch it, and there will be something else that we will be like, don't give up your humanity for.
I love that they were able to commit to like, it's 2036. That's when this happens. And like, I think we've gotten so scared to do that because you see like, you know, fill in the blank future movie. And it's like in the year 2001. And then we all kind of chuckle at it now. But it's like, that's effective. That kind of
Yeah.
shows you like, hey, this is right around the corner. I think it gives it a little more of a grounding than like in the future sometime. It's like, yeah, commit to like
Yeah, put a year on it.
pretty
Have some
much
balls.
Yes, to pretty much, and you'll be outdated, but it's like what we're watching Terminator right now. We're like, oh, this is fucking stupid.
Nope.
No, it doesn't.
It's
It
even
doesn't
better.
seem very. It doesn't seem to me like it's the future though. It just seems like an alternate timeline, like an alternate history.
You know
or
what?
Whatever,
I agree
like
with you.
that.
Yeah, when I was watching, I got that feel too. I was like, this is a different thing entirely than us.
Or you know what? Spend zero fucking time explaining any of
Yeah,
this shit.
Yeah.
Figure it out. It seemed so like cathartic for the filmmaker without being like a temper tantrum.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's what you get in a lot of like message movies. Yeah, you're just screaming and kicking and going, wah, wah, wah. This is not that at all.
Yeah.
It's so measured, which makes it so much more biting and have so much more of an impact.
Yeah, like there's no loose ends. You're like, I'm trying to think of anything that I could criticize this movie for, and I don't have it. So that's rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a fantastic movie. Did you get to catch it, Dylan?
Nah.
Oh, okay, cool.
You had to watch Strays.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he was
Yeah.
prioritizing wisely. So I would say, and that's what I'll criticize. The title is not getting anyone into the theaters.
No. It's weird.
Landscape with Invisible
It
Hand.
works for me just because I'm a little bit pretentious.
It's still like, you know, I don't know. I don't got a better one for you. And it ties in. That's the name of the mural. Landscape with Invisible Hand. Awkward ass title. But I don't, this is big brain stuff. This isn't made to, you know, fill seats or whatever. But for the love of God, at least it was fucking good.
Yeah, it was something else. I can't recommend this one more.
Yeah,
Put it
for
that
sure.
way. Yeah.
It is a must see.
Yep.
So needless to say, Landscape with Invisible Hand. Does beam me up, or are you gonna? I don't know. This is we all like the movie. I don't think we have to come up with anything
Yeah.
funny to say. Yes, just go watch this friggin' movie. It's like,
Absolutely
amazing.
go see it. Yeah.
Another movie you need to see. Back on the Strip, directed by Chris Spencer. He hasn't directed a lot, but he was in some winners. He was in Blank Man, Road Dogs, Postal. The guy has a rich cinematic history in front of the camera, but he's behind the camera on this one. And this is the movie where the writer Eric Daniel did a lot of Wildin' Out writing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So in this movie, Spencer Moore II plays Merlin, a young man who loves magic.
Loves it.
All this guy wants to do is magic. But here's the problem. He has a gigantic penis.
No,
And
this is the movie.
this is a literal movie. That is an
Okay.
actual plot point. At some point, he is, while doing a magic show at his high school,
Oh
he is
my God.
pantsed, and people can see his enormous penis.
Okay.
And they are making fun of him so much because that's
Why?
what happens because it's real life. That's what happens. If someone
Oh.
sees your enormous penis, you are a pariah, and that's his first blight and what keeps him back from pursuing this career in magic. So he finds himself playing a clown at a birthday party, right?
Oh, because clowns can have big penises.
Well,
Still wants to do magic.
right,
Right,
but
okay.
he's slogging it out as a clown, and at some point,
Clown that does magic.
a clown that does magic. He's very insistent that he's not, but a children's entertainer. Let's
yes,
put it
there
that
we
way.
go. He's not a clown.
So at one point, he's at Kevin Hart's child's birthday party, and someone throws his wig on top of a tree, and he has to jump on the trampoline to try to get it. While he's jumping, his giant penis is flopping inside his clown pants, and everyone is looking at his giant penis flopping around, again bringing further embarrassment to himself and outrage to Kevin Hart, who fires him immediately because he's jealous that everyone's looking at his huge penis. And this is an actual plot point of the film. So now down and out, his childhood sweetheart comes back home. She's played by Reagan Harris. And he's like, well, now maybe I can rekindle some of my teenage romance for her. But she's getting married to this like YouTuber guy who plays pranks, and he's a mean person, and he thinks he shouldn't marry her. But at some point, she's like, I'm getting married. And he's like, well, I'm going to Vegas to do magic. Cool. Sure. And so his mom's just like, well, you have to do it now. Oh, his mom, played by Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah.
What?
Who also does the narration of the film, of which there's a lot.
She's everywhere right now.
She buys him a one-way ticket to Las Vegas.
She's like, hit up my friend who still lives out there. She like runs a hotel.
Yes, this rundown hotel, which used to have a male stripper act, the Chocolate Chips they were called, and they haven't been active for a while, so the hotel is on hard times. She has a karaoke night. She's like, this is the one night that we actually make money, but our karaoke machine's broken. So he's like, I know, I'll do magic for him. Goes to perform magic. At some point, the ladies who are just these,
It's like a bachelorette party or something.
Yeah, and they're like, where's the karaoke? And he's like, I got magic for you. And they're just like, boo, all the tricks he's doing. They're not flying. And so all of a sudden, his pants catch on fire, has to take his pants off. Now he's on stage with that aforementioned enormous penis. All the women see this. They love it. They're screaming. All of a sudden, he's like, damn it. I thought this would escape me, my shameful past of having an enormous penis. But everywhere I go, this giant penis I have drags behind me. And so
Wesley Snipes is kind of like, he's not the co-owner of the bar attached to the hotel, but he's like friends with the lady and used to be one of the strippers in that Chocolate Chips act. He happens to be there that night, and he's like, oh,
this guy's got talent.
I know what you can do.
So now their only recourse to save the hotel is to reunite the Chocolate Chips.
With this new guy.
With this new guy with the enormous penis. So they recruit JB Smoove, Bill Bellamy, Faison Love, and Gary Owen.
I feel like I saw a preview for this like 6 years ago.
Well, you're watching the movie now if you're in the theater. So they get these guys back together, and they're now male strippers, and
but they each have like their own thing. It's like 20 years ago that they were these strippers, so they're each in different situations. One guy is a pastor, and one guy is at home with the kids. They have quadruplets.
Yes.
And there's another guy that's
he's fat. That's the whole thing. Is he's fat?
He
he's
like
fat.
the guy that was like the body. He was the muscular whatever one, and now he's just he's a big guy.
The joke is that he's fat.
Yeah. And so they're like, well, how are y'all going to get back into doing stripping when we're all different like this? And they're like, put it in the act. Yeah. And so they do.
And then, they're doing well for themselves. Very Magic Mike adjacent. They're saving the bar. They get a side gig to go like perform at a bachelorette party solo, but wouldn't you know it? It's the girl that the guy has a crush on or he was in a relationship with in high school.
Marrying the Google YouTube guy.
Yeah, so he's stripping for her, but he doesn't want her to see it's him, so he keeps the mask on at this party, so she doesn't see that it's this kid that she grew up with and saw like 2 weeks ago. Doesn't put it together that it's him, so he's able to like spend the night with her as this stripper character. And she's, so loyal to her husband or whatever. She's like, oh, we'll just talk or whatever. Anyways, fiance finds out about this. Obviously, he is not a good person. He sets up a prank to get back at this guy so bad. You're never going to believe this. So he's like, hey, I'm doing a live show in Vegas. I want you to open for me with your magic show. And he's like, bet, I'll do it. Finally, this is my break into the real, legitimate magic world. So the prank guy films like their show at the hotel place.
Yeah, a quote unquote friend of the love interest.
Yeah, sure.
Is jealous of all her success. And so she, for no good reason, gets in cahoots with the YouTuber guy and films part of his stripper act.
So while the legitimate magic act is happening, big in the background,
on the
this
monitors,
evil man who the lady is going to marry shows him and his enormous
The
penis,
footage that the girl took of his stripping act,
where his penis is huge.
flopping around, and oh my God, he doesn't even know what's on the screens behind him. He's just trying to do magic. Look at the screen behind you. Ah ha ha, everyone is laughing so hard. He trips and falls trying to crawl and run off of the stage. He's embarrassed.
Yes.
I realize where I've heard / seen this before. Gilbert Gottfried doing the aristocrats joke.
No. With his enormous penis, and he's dancing and gyrating. Ooh, he puts the magic. He pulls the rabbit out of the hat, but his penis, it's so large. Yeah, he did.
Right?
It's not that. But yeah, then they're gonna get married, but he interrupts the wedding, and then they get married to the right person, and like the right people wind up together. Oh, fucking the main chocolate chip guy is actually his dad.
It's Wesley Snipes also.
Wesley Snipes is his dad
Cool.
the whole time.
Because Wesley Snipes was the star of the original chocolate chips.
And thus Tiffany Haddish is like, yeah, that guy had a big penis and we had sex all the time. And then I had you.
Yeah.
This is a real movie. This is in theaters. It's 2 hours long.
It's 2 hours long.
I'm kind of perplexed by this one, like existing. I mean,
I just want to hear your rating system on this one.
I liked it more than Strays.
No, I'm saying like
More laughs.
You're good or bad. I want to hear your.
At some point, I will say, I think like every comedy now, especially the raunchy ones, are like, we need to find heart. If we don't, they will line us up against the wall and shoot us. If this raunchy comedy about a big penis magician named Merlin doesn't have heart in it. And obviously most of the time it's like really fucking ham-fisted. But there's a part where he's watching A Different World, the show, with his love interest, and they're it's like the Whitley gets her wedding interrupted episode, and she's like, oh, I would be so mad if someone did that to me, foreshadowing obviously. But there's just kind of like this, it's like a quiet moment where they're just watching TV together. I'm like, oh, it's kind of like, God damn it, they're kind of selling me on this. Like, it does kind of have heart in a way. Like there's some kind of humanness in it. I definitely would not say watch this in the theaters by any stretch. There's no fucking reason this needs to be in theaters. The 2 hour factor, I know it's a lazy complaint, but really, like, you have to really have something to go over 90. Like, sorry. I know that if that seems like pop song should be 3 minutes long and that's why. And it's like, some things are like that. And this really needs to be 90 minutes. So there's a lot of extraneous material and side plots and all that to it. But it is something that if it was streaming or like you just put on as a joke, I could totally see getting sucked into and watching all the way through. It's not like unwatchable. It's not bad. It's not offensive. It is just exactly as dumb as it sounds. Probably, in all fairness, if I may be frank, do not think I was the target demographic for this. There's probably a lot of ladies that would like to see Bill Bellamy, current year, gyrating on stage and, have this kind of humor inserted into it. But even for not being in the target demographic or, my sensibilities being taken into account, I was still able to get through it relatively painlessly. But yeah, definitely something I could see streaming on a Saturday afternoon accidentally and then finding yourself keep watching somehow. So, again, perplexed how this is in theaters. That's my only caveat on this one.
That's true. And I think the really crazy thing about it being 2 hours also is that toward the end, it just breakneck speed, the last like 15 minutes.
Melodrama.
But really, I would say bad editing.
Okay.
But there's a lot of like, you can tell that they just recorded later, the audio later, and like mouth not syncing up. And the whole part where she's like, he's doing the different world thing, and he's like, you don't even know her, she likes this, she likes that, and I love her. And then out of nowhere, this like disembodied, I love you too. And I was like, was that supposed to be her? And it is. And then she's like, I love you too. And it just ends there. And then the bad guy is like, whatever, I was gonna leave you at the altar anyway. Again, just the audio, like they just cut the entire scene, it seems like, down to one little added line.
Right.
It seems really strange. There were a couple of times like that. So I was like, dang, that's what you chose to cut down? You could have trimmed some more somewhere else to kind of give us a more satisfying reveal that she feels the same way. You don't even see her face when she says, I love you too, is really weird.
Yeah. So I don't know. Again, I'm not going to say this is a terrible movie. The fact that he is the whole joke is that this guy is struggling under the adversity of everyone knowing he has a giant penis. That's this is a dare. Someone dared them to make, and there's like talent behind this movie. Kevin Hart showing up, Tiffany Haddish is showing up. Like big name people are showing up for this fucking movie about a magician named Merlin with a giant penis. You can't tell me this didn't start as an ad lib.
A Mad Lib.
Yeah. Like this is no way this wasn't just like put together on a dare. But yeah, whatever. It's watchable. Is it movie magic, or is this a big old flop? The flop referring to the penis.
Yeah,
the
which is a
enormous
bad
penis.
thing.
This is neither a flop nor magic. It's just something you accidentally see.
Yeah, I agree. I was unexpectedly delayed because of a hurricane, apparently, and I had another day, and I was like, I'll watch this movie. And that's exactly the situation that you should be in order to watch this movie and get the most out of it. It's whatever. It exists. I do think it was clever, them having their different stripping routines built around what they do in their normal everyday lives now, that was kind of funny. It's fine.
Okay, Brent, what do you got for us today?
What was formerly known as Auteur Amateur Hour is now called Let's Make Some Movies. So, quick rundown. We've acquired every IP. We have a bunch of actors ready to work. And I have delegated budgets to all three players for them to make 3 different genre movies. And whereas in the first edition, Dylan had the least amount of money to spend, this time he has the most. He has 150 credits to spend on a mystery movie. Justine is going to be making a historical fiction movie for 100 credits. And then Colin is going to give us that comedy we've been dying for 100 credits. There's a 25 credit tier. There is a free tier. There is a 10 credit tier and a 4 credit tier.
How much is my budget again?
You have 100 credits.
It should be on the top.
Yes, it is.
Yes. And Dylan's big spender today. He's got 150. After the success of Knives Out, mystery budget is really high right now.
You know what's messed up? I can't even think of another mystery movie that's not like in my head. I keep thinking, I Know What You Did Last Summer, Scream.
It's a mystery.
What about like Clue?
I know, I think a Clue, but
Well, part of why I assigned you a mystery is because I want to hear what a mystery is to you.
are we allowed to do remakes still?
You could do any type of movie you want. You could do remakes, reboots. You could do original IP. You can just blatantly rip something off and pretend that you made it up. All right, Justine, with the first pick, who would you like to take for your historical fiction film?
I'm not sure what I'm doing yet, but I'll take Paul Rudd.
Ooh, 25 credits.
Start from there.
Yeah. All right. We're going to go over to Dylan. Who you got first?
Yeah, I'm looking at all these people as I have 150 credits. You know, I'm gonna do a remake, a reboot of sorts. Excuse me, just had an Uncrustable. My throat's a little dry.
Brought to you by Uncrustable.
Ah, shit, I wanted to say I wanted to get the Siete sponsorship.
Oh,
Yeah. So Uncrustables, if you're listening,
Smuckers, Uncrustables. If you're
Smuckers.
listening, and Siete.
yeah, both of you guys, we're open.
Yes.
If you're interested, we're interested. Everyone else, undetermined.
God, I would love a fucking like free box of Uncrustables every like weekend.
Give you an Uncrustables influencer.
Unboxing.
Do TikTok commercials.
How long does an Uncrustable last you? Be honest.
Like a box or one?
Well,
Single?
how much is in a box?
Depends, like 10, 15.
How long does it take for you to?
Well, I just ate my last one, but I usually eat like 3 at a time.
Okay.
Like stacked on top of each other?
No, like one. And I freeze them.
Like Wimpy from Popeye?
Yeah, no. No. So like I'll sneak them
Did not
into
know I
the
was gonna
theater
hear
or I'll just like bring 5 into my room and just eat them in my bed.
Dude, baller shit, honestly.
Yeah, dude. Anyway, I don't know if this counts as a mystery. The title is a mystery.
Oh, we're already getting into your
Yeah,
whole
I'm
thing.
gonna tell you what this is.
Go ahead. Tell me about it.
It's Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, that is a mystery. You don't
Yeah.
know who framed him.
Yeah. And I'm gonna have Andy Dick as Roger Rabbit.
Okay, so
That's a good cast.
listen.
you.
Yeah, really.
Let me tell you something. In spite of having the most amount of credits to make a high budget mystery movie, Dylan takes the first person on the free list. That cost him nothing. Andy Dick is coming in and he's working for free.
Doing Roger Rabbit.
So
That
yeah,
that could bring it back.
Bring him or bring Roger Rabbit back?
Bring Andy Dick back,
Oh.
bro. Andy Dick is. I'm not gonna let anyone disparage the legacy of Andy Dick. He had some funny moments. There was a movie he had, or a show he had on MTV.
Mm-hmm.
The reason to this day that I still call all vampires Draculas is because he had a sketch on his show where he had like an assistant. And it was like, the joke was like a day in the life of Andy Dick's assistant. And he's like, God damn it, get in here. There's a Dracula under my bed. And this is not even mentioning Ben Stiller's show, News Radio. Guy was a goddamn icon. Whatever has happened in, the past couple decades. I don't know. But guy's a legend. That's all.
All right, Colin, it goes to you with 100 credits to make your comedy, or cast your comedy rather. Who are you taking?
I have to give the premise first. I don't think the rest of it works if I don't. No, and then I can make the rest of the plot work. Because like I said, I've been on a Woody Allen kick, been watching some of his works. And the only funny idea I've ever had in my life, and we are doing a comedy here, is PUA, which is a pickup artist for those uninitiated in the mystery method and the game. PUA Woody Allen, where he's just like, I'm approaching a 2 set. I need a wingman. My wingman, he's not a good wingman. That's my problem. Like, you can't do Kino escalation if you don't have a good wingman to open up the 2 set.
Holy shit.
That's probably the only funny idea I've ever had. I don't see Woody Allen's name on this list, but it does remind me that I don't know what it is. That will always be funny to me. Is just like PUA lingo in general. So I'm gonna cast the bad guy first, like the master PUA, and he's gonna have to teach like a Padawan some game,
Classic.
and it's gonna be a real nebbish, nervous, hand-wringing guy trying to learn to be a pickup artist. But the master pickup artist, I think it has to be someone people don't like. And I think that's Leo DiCaprio right now. I think he has to be like what do you fucking wrestling people call him, heels? He has to be the heel of this event. So I'll drop my big 25 on this.
All right, 25. That leaves both you and Justine with 75 to cast your movie. Justine, it's back to you.
Still not sure where I'm going with this, but I'm going to take Riz Ahmed.
Ooh, good pick. That only cost you 4 credits. Dylan,
Yes.
who are you thinking?
Well, I'm trying to just remember Who Framed Roger Rabbit as a movie, like as a whole.
So you had
Hard
Bob.
time. Trouble.
Yeah.
Trouble remembering how that movie goes.
There's a detective guy.
No, I know the big
3.
3, but
Yeah.
I don't know past that. I'm like guessing right now. But if I'm gonna have to put a face and a name to the detective guy, Mario, gonna have to go ahead and put Bam Margera next to Roger Rabbit,
Okay, so
Andy Dick.
for the listeners at home, Bam Margera is the last name after Andy Dick on the free tier. So still with 150 credits, saving the studio tons of money.
Yes,
Mr. Dylan.
thank you.
With Bam Margera as the detective?
I just wrote Mario. But I don't really know if that's Hoskins or whatever.
Bob Hoskins,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the main guy.
Dude, Roger, you're fucking haggard right now.
Are you fucking? I can't do it right now.
I know, you do a good one.
I do, and I have to like really, really work myself into it.
Yeah, I'll just try to keep it in mind. Try to
I've been
give
trying,
us your good Bama impression.
but I've been trying to remember how fucking the stupid Framed Roger Rabbit movie goes.
Oh, that's a mystery. No
I
one's
literally wrote like Baby with Cigar,
Baby with cigar.
Taxi,
that's part of it.
Doc Brown. It's all I have. Christopher Lloyd, I guess I could just put that.
You know who played the voice of Jessica Rabbit?
Cameron Diaz.
Kathleen Turner.
Damn it, I was so close.
Yeah, you're pretty close. All right, Colin, who do you got in your comedy?
So you got the guy that the public dislikes. I'll keep it in your parlance. You need a baby face. and that's where Pedro Pascal comes in. I think
Oh,
he's going to be the
Great call.
likable guy that slowly gets corrupted into this dark world of game.
So is he seeking out to become one, or is he just kind of like falls into it?
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, but you know,
Yeah, we'll flesh it out.
yeah, maybe he just sees maybe old Leo sees him fumbling, and he's like, "How would you like to have your life turned around? I'm gonna teach you."
This is smart casting because you spent 35 credits and you got two of the most lusted after, handsome leading men.
Yeah, depending on generations. Is it
As
still
I'm saying, you're pulling in two generations.
Right.
With this.
Wait, who do you have as your second guy?
Pedro Pascal?
Oh, okay.
Is it still cool to be horny for Leo? I think they're over it now.
I think it's an older generation. So that's what I'm saying. Like you're kind of like appealing to. Yeah.
Poor Leo.
Okay, we're going back to Justine for the historical fiction. She's got 71.
Cillian Murphy.
Okay. Who is on the strength of Oppenheimer on the 10 credit list. All right, who are you taking next in your mystery?
All right. Well, like I said before, I'm trying to remember all these movies. There's no women listed in the free category, which is kind of sad.
You have to spend some money, Dylan.
I know. Well, this is the first credits I'm going to have to do. I'm looking at the 25. I'm like Anya Taylor-Joy, Margot Robbie. This is for Jessica Rabbit, by the way.
Of course, yeah.
And I'm just like,
No one knows them. No name recognition. That's the problem.
I know. But, let's save some money a little bit. Aquafina as Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah. That only cost you 4 credits.
Yeah. So I'll have 146 credits left. Aquafina has to sing some songs, I think. And, I've seen her sing.
Hey, listen.
Hey,
she has,
question for you. Is this going to be animated or like the combo animated?
It'll be the
live
same
action?
style.
Okay.
But I want the characters to look more like the actors themselves.
Yeah.
So like Roger Rabbit is in the style of Andy Dick, and Jessica Rabbit's a little bit more ethnic, as you will.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe dress up Jessica Rabbit like how Aquafina would dress normally. Anyway, Aquafina as Jessica Rabbit. That's my 4 credits.
You spent some money.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
Colin, let's go back to your comedy. So we got the pickup artist. The main guy is Leonardo DiCaprio. Pedro Pascal falls in with him.
it sort of writes itself in terms of like you're going to need a supporting cast of guys who can act very, very silly. Like because Leo's going to take him back to the PUA lair, and at that point, the more absurd the people, the better. And that's why I got to lead with John C. Reilly. Why is John C. Reilly in 10 credits and Aquafina in 4 credits? I feel like this is very backwards.
Well, it has to do with like a lot of this is like where we're at right now.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like it's not
that's kind of what I'm talking about. Aquafina's like at the height of her popularity.
Well, she's
right
just
now.
in everything, so you can get her for 4.
I guess so. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
How is David Spade in the 4 credit, not free?
I think David Spade costs money. Come on,
David Spade?
Yeah,
Think
just have
he
him,
would
he's
come
on
out?
call to do anything Billy Madison wants him
He
to do.
just had something. I forget what it was. So like that's why he's in 4.
He's like on retainer generally, so you got to give him something to get him off of the Sandler verse.
Very good.
Yep. And then we're back to Justine.
Mark Ruffalo
Ooh, good call.
As Alien.
She's not
as an alien.
in that historical fiction. Ruffalo is on the 10 tier. Got it. Okay, so with 146 credits left, let's go back to Dylan for the latest casting in his mystery movie.
Pauly Shore as a taxi.
Forgot the taxi's a character. That's a good pull. For someone who probably remembers Roger Rabbit as much as I do, which is to say not. I feel like remembering that a talking taxi involved is a pretty good pull.
Thank you.
So let me take a look here, see where Pauly Shore is on the tier list. Oh, he's free as well. So still with 146 credits, Dylan and his mystery movie. Colin, we are fleshing out your crew. Who else we got?
I need more PUAs in my lair. I need to tap Henry Cavill on the shoulder.
Ooh.
I think that's a good. Is he kind of hated right now?
No.
He's not hated. He's just kind of like he got clowned by DC,
With the Superman thing.
because The Rock. I guess his agent is the same as Henry Cavill's, so that's how he got brought in.
I thought there was some
Black
stuff
Adam.
with The Witcher too. Like people are just like,
Oh,
they don't
wow.
like him or something on
Could
The Witcher.
be.
But who the fuck gives a shit about any of that?
But that's good because you're kind of getting like a bad energy that you want in your PUA.
But yeah, as
Negative
a
mojo.
You need that bad mojo.
no, for sure, I think like you could see him as a, sitting in the council of
Yeah,
PUAs.
the layer.
With or without mustache, and if it's with mustache, will you put CGI over it?
You know, I might, I could ride it if he's down to clown.
Mhm.
Like that would be really funny, and just that's a good visual gag. Because again, most of these guys are in here just to like cut to him as like heads of the PUA layer. So the more like comical you get, just like what do they call it? Like a filter on Instagram, like with the dog ears or something. You're just doing that over a mustache that he has. Like that's like when Ryan Reynolds talked about being Green Lantern in Deadpool or whatever, and he clowned himself in it. That's how you do the redemption thing. Like, yeah, I know.
Okay.
Justine, you're at about the halfway point of your credits. Who would you like to select next?
Did I say Gosling yet?
No.
Okay, Ryan Gosling.
It's a bit of a bargain, right? I think he's on the 10.
Yeah, he's
Yeah. Decent bargain right there.
There was a fight outside. Did you guys see the fight? It was amazing. There was bloodshed. I mean, these guys were really duking it out there. I mean, you didn't see this? You didn't see this fight?
This is also Ryan Gosling and Justine's.
No. This is just more of my Woody Allen PUA
okay.
character that I'm trying to flesh out while we're recording.
I'm not gonna lie. Like when he first started doing it, I thought I was with you. I thought he was doing Ryan Gosling, like talking about a fight outside. I was like, yeah, I guess that's close. I don't know.
Let me read your palm. Let me read your palm. I'm a good fortune teller. There's fortune tellers. They run in my family. My great aunt. She told everyone's fortune. She said I'd be in a bar talking to you. It was amazing.
All right, Dylan, try to think of another obscure character from Roger Rabbit and cast it.
All right. Well, another character I could think of is the baby with the cigar. I got Quentin Tarantino doing the baby with cigar. I feel like his voice matches. I don't know I think the baby sounds like, "Hey, you guys." But Quentin Tarantino, I think he did a good job doing
We'll go ahead and scan this the rate list, and not seeing Quentin on. Oh, there he is. He's on the free tier. So Dylan still has 146 credits left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 actors hired, including his leads. So very economical, this one over here.
It's so hard to do without a phone because I can't just look at the poster.
Here's the crazy thing is like that movie has Yosemite Sam, Mr. Toad.
Oh, I know you can
Droopy
name like
Dog.
Disney Looney Tunes, but I'm
Yeah.
trying to remember like original characters for the movie.
Okay.
I'll put Tweety Bird and shit in there then.
Okay.
I'll name some Looney Tune characters that I remember showing up. Daffy Duck, Donald Duck.
Yep. We go back to Colin for his pickup artist comedy.
Final entry into the lair. Idris Elba.
Damn.
Yeah, I think
British or American?
very British and like I think he has to play up the Britishness of it because that's
He has to play up.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
ham up his Cockney accent.
Yeah, I don't want him to do the Wire version of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You want him to ham up his
Yeah,
actual
yeah, like
accent.
Peaky, like he'll be a guy. That's the funny bit. He's the guy who's obsessed with Peaky Blinders. So like all the different the different PUAs and like I'm basing all my PUA knowledge on that show on VH1 that aired like 20 years ago.
Mr. E.
That no one's seen in a long time. They all have like characters, like they have bits that they're like, I'm the magician. That was Mystery's thing, right? So like Idris Elba's thing will be he's obsessed with Peaky Blinders. He'll get the stupid haircut and everything, wear like way too tight of a vest. It'll work. I had to go big on that one, but it was worth it.
At 59 credits spent, Justine has some options. And we can, let me tell you something. I'm looking over the books here, and I've got this mystery movie I'm making that 5 people have been cast in. We've only spent 4 credits. So if you need a little extra, just let us know.
Gonna take Anna de Armas. She's 4.
She's in everything.
What's she in?
She was in Blonde.
Hmm.
She's gonna be in that ballerina John Wick spinoff.
Was she in John Wick?
No.
Okay, Dylan. You going to spend some money, or are you going to grab some more freebies?
Thought about it.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to remember the movie. I'm remembering now that I'm remembering mostly the ride from Toontown. Is there a wolf guy in this movie? Because if there's a wolf guy,
I know what you're talking about. He's got pants and a hat.
yes,
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
put Charlie Sheen as the wolf guy.
Okay.
I don't know exactly. I think he's a bad guy, I assume. But I would have Charlie Sheen voice the wolf guy.
So is the title for this movie Roger Rabbit or Who Framed Roger Rabbit : box office cancer?
No, it would be Who Framed Roger Rabbit : alpha movie.
Alpha movie.
Yeah.
Oh, to be like for synergy with the pickup artist.
Yeah.
Movie. I get it, dude. Yeah, appreciate you looking out for the studio.
Thank you.
Speaking of looking out for the studio, Colin, who we spending some money on?
You know, I'm told I'm supposed to nag. I'm supposed to nag. Have you heard about this nagging thing? I just nag myself. I mean, that's what I was raised. My mother, she nagged me from the beginning. You know, so I feel ill equipped. You know, to do this this nagging thing. I'm gonna put. We need some ladies to the comedy of the film as they talk to ladies.
It's all guys.
In all fairness,
I know, but it's like I like the PUA where there's no women involved.
I mean, I'm not trying to make a documentary. Kate McKinnon, that kind of writes itself.
Oh, there you go.
I'll let the theater of the mind do the math on that one for you.
Kate is on the 4-credit list. Justine, are we putting together this movie still, or are you rapping?
So I would like to try to get Dev Patel.
Yep. Dev is Dev on the 4?
10.
Oh, on the 10.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, stock has been rising. Dylan,
Yes.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and who else are we putting in the movie?
Well, I would have to put Judge Doom.
Yes.
All right. Steven Seagal as Judge Doom. That's everyone listening. That's Doc Brown. What's his real name? No, hold on. Christopher Lloyd. I'm thinking of Henry Cavill.
Henry
Someone
Cavill.
already spoken about.
Marty, we've got to go back. That would be so cool. Scratch the whole PUA Woody Allen thing. We're going just a really buff Doc Brown from Back to the Future. Just same
Henry
exact
Cavill.
movie, same script. It's just like Dolph Lundgren is playing Doc Brown. Just really buff.
But he's
scientist.
old? I guess he's old. And then Marty McFly is Tom Holland.
I like that. All right.
Okay, all right.
Pretty good.
He's the only other young person in this.
I just everything about the movie is exactly the same.
Shot for shot remake like Psycho.
But he's really buff, comically, gigantically buff Doc Brown. No explanation, no elaboration. No one brings it up.
So
Anyway.
so the rough premise of the free list is, it's like it's a riskier pick for somebody to cast, but if they get into a budget crunch, they can just select from that list and get, basically kind of put a body in there. Dylan has opted to fill the leads and now the secondary and tertiary characters, basically taking the entire free list in spite of having the biggest budget in the game's history.
Well, you think I'm going to not put Andy Dick as Roger Rabbit in
That's
Bam
a legitimately
Margera?
good pull. The Bam pull sucks. I'm not giving you credit for that. Earth Rocker, that though you may be, that's a bad one. But
right.
but it's made up for by the stellar casting of Andy Dick as
That's what I'm saying.
Roger
I saw
Rabbit.
that name and immediately went, oh, Roger Rabbit.
I love that your pitch is to do a mystery movie. So you're like, oh yeah, the great mystery of our time.
Who framed Roger Rabbit?
Just
Can you answer that question? If not-
legitimately just picking the title because it has a question mark in the name.
That's amazing.
Well, who framed him? I don't
The
even
mystery. It ends with a question
know.
mark.
Yeah.
All right, Colin, teach Dylan how to burn some money.
Yeah.
Like I said, we need a cast of ladies for these fumbling men to make buffoons of themselves with. And I like to see Ayo Edeberry in 2 movies last week. So I'm putting her in a movie this week too.
This is another steal because AO is available for only 4 credits.
She was in Theater Camp and Mutant Mayhem. What a man! You know what I like? Movies. Have you seen these things?
A couple.
They're good.
All right, I see Justine frantically scrawling lists. Who'd you like to select now?
Trying to figure out my budget because I kind of got lost. So I'm gonna go with Saoirse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. She's only $4.
Good pick. Okay, back to Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Who gets the next role?
All right, I'm not too sure if this is a character. Again, I am remembering mostly the ride at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So if this isn't a character, this is going to be original characters at this point.
Okay.
I'm gonna put Bruce Willis as a stick of dynamite. 4 credits.
That's so appropriate.
Yeah. Is that a credit? Is that a character?
He has a hot temper.
Actually, you know what? Yeah,
Okay.
Bruce Willis is only going to cost you 2 credits because we're going to have a stand-in for most of this stuff.
Well, get the standard some money.
That puts you at a whopping 6. Whereas Colin over there is currently at 82.
I need to demonstrate my higher value. It's a DHV spike. You let them know when you're opening the set. You let them know that you have, a nice car. I try to tell them about my book collection. They're not interested. I'll say I need a real deal love interest for Pedro, because obviously this is how you do these movies is they find the true love. Pedro Pascal, real likable guy. Need a likable gal for him, and he's probably gonna pursue him despite all the bad intel he's getting from the PUAs. We're going Helena Bonham Carter. We're going someone who's just liked by people.
So goddamn! I did not expect you to go
I
there.
didn't
That
even know
could-
she was
that's-
on there.
Do we like that ship? It's got to be something that people like. I think we like that ship. Get her out of the fucking Tim Burton's vile clutches, his tight, clenching, evil, monopolistic grip. Let her out for once. God damn it.
We return to the world of historical fiction.
I will take Nev Campbell.
Oh, good pick.
She's 4.
Was
Yeah.
she in the Twisted Metal show?
Yes.
Is that her?
She-
Okay.
yeah, that's her.
She's fresh. I like that show. Good job, Twisted Metal. I know this isn't a movie, but
So, Dylan, considering that you just cast a stick of dynamite, do you need to go any further, or are you good?
I got another one.
Okay, hit me with it.
All right. Again, I think this is part of the movie, if I remember the movie correctly.
Okay.
John Cena. That's 10 credits, the most I've spent so far on
Ooh.
a singular person, as the shoe that gets dipped.
I don't think that's a character.
Yeah, the shoe gets
Does
dipped.
he talk?
You know what
Yeah.
though? Here's the great thing about this studio is you have the liberty to just do whatever you want with these movies.
Yeah, isn't there a shoe that gets dipped?
There's
in
a
the-
shoe that gets dipped. I think it's just I think it's a regular shoe. Oh, do they pull it? Because it turns people into cartoons.
It's an Adidas 84 forum, and they say
Bro.
it like that.
That was a funny.
Here's an 84
that
dipped.
so in the Blue Beetle movie, I got to flesh that one out. And
Yes.
you reminded me.
Yeah.
I forgot.
It would be nice if you brought that up during when we were talking about the movie.
Of
But
course.
I thought it was really funny because when he turns into the Blue Beetle, he keeps burning all his clothes, and at one point he scorches his pair of shoes, and it's like some Adidas forums. And he's like, "Oh man, I burnt my 84s." No one has ever called those shoes that. No one refers to the 84 model. Maybe Ewings they would call them. No, because the Ewings are rivalries, and that was
Yeah,
a
yeah.
forum, right? It's a Forum 84. No one has ever called the forums the 84s, regardless of what year.
I damn
Very
near
silly.
broke my neck in the theater to turn and look at the reaction of my 2 sneaker collecting
Oh,
friends.
we were
over
fucking.
here.
I laughed. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
yeah.
went, who the fuck says
Yeah.
that?
But I mean,
yeah.
smart to put again nods to actual Latino culture. The
Adidas
heavy
Sambas.
3-stripe love. You love to see
Yeah.
it.
All right, so John Cena is going to be a shoe in Dylan's movie. Colin, who are you going to put in your movie?
This is going to be my last casting. I feel like you can kind of
Yep.
figure out the movie from here. There's going to be like a dark hand above the PUA layer. You can see the real villain, the mask behind the mask. It's Charlie Sheen, ultimate villain.
You can't take
Oh,
Charlie
you already
Sheen.
took Charlie Sheen? I thought you skipped that one.
No, he's Wolf Guy.
There is one available on there.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to.
Yeah, don't do that.
It only works if it's Charlie Sheen.
Right.
That's because then you
Need
have
a
it
real
actually.
heel
You want
heat.
to trade? You want to pay me off?
Who do you want?
Oh, you don't have to trade. Just buy them.
All right, I'll tell you who he's got.
Yeah, how much?
All right, so Colin has Leonardo DiCaprio, Pedro Pascal, John C. Reilly, Henry Cavill, Idris Elba, Kate McKinnon, Ayo, and Helena Bonham Carter.
Who did you cast Charlie Sheen as?
Wolf Guy. I don't even know if that's a character.
No, you know what? I like your casting better. Actually, I think that is spiritually where Charlie Sheen belongs because he's horny.
Yeah.
That's dumb. That's me. I fucked that one up. I'm
Very
sorry.
awooga.
Okay.
I'm
Is there another guy?
No.
Just take Scott Baio because I wasn't going to take him. to begin
No,
with.
no, I don't like that.
All right, so you want to go evil, hand above the whole PUA?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
With the free guys.
Let's take a look at it.
Yeah.
Dude, this is why it's funny
It's
that
there,
you,
and then I ruined it
yeah,
for everyone.
you kill this list every time, and I love it. So yeah, who could be
I think,
bad?
yeah.
Okay, Christian Bale can obviously be pretty bad.
Yeah, but it's almost funnier if they play themselves. But then again, if I think about it, I think
How much points?
having
do you
Charlie Sheen play himself is very what's the word?
have? Done.
Yeah, it's very scary movie territory. I mean, I know this is going to sound really like a cheap shot, but you put Peter Dinklage in that role.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, that's a good. And yeah, I would fight for Charlie Sheen more, but I like him more as a Wooga guy.
Okay.
Yep.
Sorry.
And I'm done. That is my casting. I'm finished with my movie. How much money do I? How under budget am I?
Let's see. Dinklage,
I think that was a 10.
probably a 10. Yeah. You're at 96. So you could take a 4 if you want.
All right.
All right.
Wait,
Justine.
did you even pick anyone then?
Yeah, I took Dinklage as the,
Oh,
the
yeah,
mastermind.
yeah. Okay.
All right, I am taking Julianne Moore.
Ooh.
She is also 4.
Nice.
Another steal. Okay. Dylan,
Mm-hmm.
any other minor characters or objects that you would like to put very famous actors into?
Well, I have a question.
Yeah.
Is Zendaya taken?
No.
I'll put Zendaya as a treasure chest.
Is there a treasure chest in
I
the
think.
Just
If
make
not,
one
there is
up.
now.
Whatever.
So wait, there's what's Dip? Dip changes cartoons into people.
And then it kills the cartoons.
Oh, okay.
And
kinda
that's why I
cool.
remember the shoe being talkative.
Yeah, because you dip it in, and then it's like, oh, I'm a shoe, and then they dip it in again, and it kills it.
Yeah.
Okay, good
That's
movie.
why I remember the shoe
Can we just watch fucking Who Framed Roger
like
Rabbit
right now. I want to film this movie I just made up.
That does sound pretty good.
Zendaya as a
This
treasure
movie I
chest.
just made up. All right, Colin, burn your last 4.
We need another baddie to put these fools in their place, and that's why you go Sigourney Weaver.
Ooh, Sigourney.
Puts
That's
me
the
at
bad woman.
Baddie.
Yeah, it's a baddie.
Oh,
that puts me at,
baddie.
a,
I'm
that puts
sorry.
me at an
I thought
even-
it was a villain.
No, not a big bad.
Oh, see, dude, I thought the same thing. I was like, that's an
No.
interesting choice considering she's one of the most like iconic
No,
heroines
like what
in
is
film
up,
history.
you
But okay,
fuckers.
No, she's got to put these motherfuckers in line.
Yeah,
Okay,
I know.
so
I get
Sigourney's
it.
off
Respect.
the board.
Yeah,
You're out.
I'm done. Even
Okay.
Hundo.
All right, even
Dust-
Hundo, I like
dust my
that.
hands off.
Justine, historical fiction. Where are we at?
So I need Timothy Oliphant. Timothy Oliphant. Yeah.
Oliphant. Okay, Oliphant's off the board.
I don't even know who that is.
That's I was okay. You ever seen the movie The Crazies?
Yeah.
Okay,
06?
he's the sheriff.
Jesus
Wait,
Christ.
06 crazies?
Yeah,
Oh no, I've seen the OG crazies, but I don't know about the 06 crazies.
dude,
Yeah,
it's the remake. It's so bad.
It's so funny. All right. Is Jenna Ortega taken?
Jenna Ortega is available.
I'll put Jenna Ortega as a lamppost.
Disney adults are just so fucking pissed off right now, and I love
What
it.
do you mean? I'm playing a fucking supercast for them.
That's what I'm saying.
They're pissed.
I'm sure they have their own ideas of who they would cast. You know what I mean? As we go on to the more minor characters, you're taking the bigger names, and that's really awesome.
Vaguely remembering these characters existing.
Yeah, he's like, is there a shoe in that movie?
I think so. It
Yeah,
talks.
put John Cena in that
It
bitch.
talks. I remember there's a shoe and he dips it to piss him off because he's like, "Tell me about where the stuff is." He's like, "Oh, I don't know," and then he dips the mouth of the shoe in there, and he's like,
It's a jealousy trap. You see, you trap the girl into being jealous of you, so she's more likely to go home and you do her thing. You read Shakespeare by the moonlight. I don't know.
So Dylan has only spent 36 credits and has like 19 people.
"It's a good movie."
We go over to Justine, who just recruited Timothy Oliphant to the movie.
Okay, now I'll take Josh Hartnett.
Okay, Josh Hartnett. Probably a 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Dylan, back to you.
This might be my highest paid actor in this movie. Is Anya Taylor-Joy taken?
She is
I will
available.
put her as a fire hydrant, please.
So for 25 credits, this woman is going to come onto your set and be a fire hydrant.
Yes.
So like the way I kind of structured this, like 25 credits roughly represents $25 million. So we're paying her $25 million to come on.
Oh, I didn't know it was like that.
You don't get her for cheap at this point. I don't think, or maybe you do.
yeah,
I don't know.
She got
I don't
she
know.
won't roll out of bed for less than 15. Come on. Okay, I like that. Fire hydrant, Anya Taylor-Joy. We're gonna shoot it back to Justine, and it sounds like she's wrapping up her historical fiction film.
Yeah, I can only afford one more person.
Because Dylan has only spent so little. You now have at least 100 more credits you can spend if you would like. If you would like.
What do I have right now? Do I have 7?
Yeah, you have 7 left.
I'm going to take Stephen Yoon.
Uh-huh.
He's 4.
Dylan,
Yes.
you have a ton of money, buddy.
Is Tansri Michelle Yeoh the same person?
Yes, that's the full name.
Okay, I'll put Tansri Michelle Yeoh as Tweety Bird.
Gun to her head?
The second bird she's played.
Oh shit! Well,
Oh
she's
my
gonna-
god.
well, it's gonna be the one. Like I would have to buy Looney Tunes property, I'm sure, but fuck it. I know Tweety Bird's in the movie. She talks to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll put Michelle Yeoh, and she's gonna say "What's up" to Bam Margera, and that'll be the end of that scene.
Bam Margera's a detective, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
One of the person with the most lines.
He pulled it off. Listen, he pulled it off in Haggard.
He did pull it off in Haggard,
He
but
pulled it
I
off
don't
in
know.
Haggard.
2024, 23.
Get it together. Just don't get that backstabber Jeff Tremaine involved, and he'll be fine.
True,
Or make him sign any bullshit contracts.
Right. No Steve-O.
Yeah, all those
Yeah,
fucking
okay.
cowards.
No Johnny.
No, Earth Rockers only.
Justine, would you like any more picks for yours? You've done so well with this budget, and Dylan has saved us so much money.
Yeah, if I can get one extra credit, I will pay Anna Kendrick.
Ooh.
Damn. You know, she was my original choice for Jessica Rabbit until I realized Aquafina was right below her.
Dylan doesn't like to read too far into these lists. He just looks at the A's. It's just like, give me all those. All right, Dylan, there's roughly 100 credits left if you just like to rattle off some of the people you'd like to burn that money on, or you can save money, however you want to do it.
I got David Spade as a wallet. What does that leave me at now?
Okay, I'll give you the official count.
Thank you.
It's only 74.
Or I spent 70.
You have 76 you can spend, and the floor is all yours.
I'll go quick.
All right.
Is Margot Robbie taken? That's another 25, and she'll be paid as much as Anya Taylor-Joy.
Right.
Is she
She's
taken?
available. Yeah.
I'll have her as Mallet.
Oh my god.
Just naming objects now. Okay.
I mean, that's what
Do
that
it.
movie is. I don't know. They're all objects that talk. As far as I can remember.
they all are objects. Okay.
What does
Anybody
that
else?
leave me at now? Because I'm stupid.
That dude, you still have got over 50 credits to spend if you want.
Jason Statham as a dumbbell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Lucy Liu as a sandwich.
Okay. Anybody else?
Where am I at now? Except for
I'm gonna give you, this movie's so great, and we're gonna make so much money on it. I'm not even gonna look at money anymore. I'm just gonna look at number of picks. I'm gonna give you 2 more picks.
2 more
Anybody
picks.
you want.
Whoa, anyone, even in the 25 credit?
Anybody you want.
Damn, this is a good
Feeling
movie.
good today.
This is
We're
a good
You know how much money we're gonna make, man? I'm not worried. I gotta spend a lot of money to make a lot of money on this one. Let's go.
All right, if we can do any kind of properties in this Who Framed Roger Rabbit
Yeah,
remake.
you can bring stuff in if you want.
All right.
Where's your twist?
Have some Silverhawks or some GI Joes.
Well, I was gonna-
You can make me happy bringing Gru. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
well, now in the 2023 year,
Okay.
right? And what's Roger Rabbit, like 1982,
93, right?
I thought it was 89.
89?
Something like that. Yeah.
I'm just guessing here. Gotta add some like current cartoons, right?
Yes.
Is Ewan McGregor taken?
Ewan McGregor is available.
All right, I'll put Ewan McGregor from as a lightsaber from one of those Star Wars animated shows.
Is there going to be any context to that? Like,
No, he's just a talking lightsaber that jumps, or, kind of bounces around.
All right, keep us current.
All right.
Like that brand new property, Star Wars. I understand. Yeah, putting it in there. What else? What
This
else?
is the last one.
Okay.
Is Tom Hardy available?
Oh, of course he's available.
Tom Hardy as Steven Universe. And that's the end of my choices.
Fantastic.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit 88?
Who's
Oh,
playing?
wow.
Who's no Finn from Adventure Time?
If you want to put him in, now that you ask. It's Christian Bale. You took him, huh?
No, Kristen Bell's available.
Okay, I'll put Christian Bale as Finn from Adventure Time.
Wait, you got Steven Universe who's playing Peridot.
You got a whole other movie with
Julia
him.
Roberts.
Hell yeah.
1,
Pull.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Who's the skinny gem? The one with the pointy
Pearl.
Pearl, yeah, who's playing Pearl?
Pearl can be.
Well,
Winona
let me put it
Ryder.
this way: you've already taken 20 picks, which is almost double.
Constance
everybody
Wu
else's.
would be a good Pearl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I could do that, but that's like taking a lot of money. Her or Florence Pugh. Probably. I'll put Lawrence Pugh.
You don't want to put her as like
know what, man?
a brake pad or a flat tire or
A pipe.
I don't know this
a
movie.
couch.
I haven't seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit in like a solid 20 years.
We're gonna watch it like 1
So,
minute
like,
after.
in my head,
once
I'm
the
just-
recording stops.
I'm just remembering like stuff talks.
I'd like to take Keanu Reeves as a door.
Yeah, that's fine. See what I'm saying? Like, it makes sense.
Okay, so now that you've cast your movie,
Yes.
and you've got these 20 actors here, are you gonna do anything different? You're gonna have a different twist. You're gonna have a different message. What are you changing about it that justifies this reboot?
It's just a shot-for-shot remake, but you're gonna add like Steven Universe and Finn and Jake now.
I did think it's funnier if you just do it off of what you can kind of remember happening in the movie. It's
Yeah.
like 20 minutes long. I think they're in the real world.
I know there's a Toontown,
And then Jessica Rabbit wants to be in the real world.
and I know Mario doesn't like Toontown.
God damn it. Am I thinking of Cool World? Whatever. Cool World exists too.
Ooh, that would have been a sick choice.
Hey.
I chose Brad Pitt and threw him in there.
Hollywood, if she could.
Dang.
More like Hollywood.
Oh.
Hardly even know her.
That was the advertising for Cool World.
Oh,
They showed-
Hollywood if he could.
Yeah, who was like the boy in the movie? It wasn't Val Kilmer, was
That
it?
was Brad Pitt.
Yeah, it's Brad Pitt.
Okay,
Kim
it's like-
Basinger.
That's what I'm saying. It'd
It's
be
like
sick
Brad
if I had
Pitt, and then the
Pitt.
drawing of the lady, and then it just says Hollywood if she could.
Hard.
That was the, and it was like that was in Ghost Rider, Spirits of Vengeance #6, the back cover or something.
Oh yeah.
All right, yeah, I'm excited for this Cool World movie for sure.
Colin, you hit 100. You hit your budget on the nose. Good boy. Do you have anything else to tell us about your pickup artist movie? Since you hit it on the nose, I'm willing to let you cast a director if you'd like. Take your pick.
Wouldn't you just get Woody Allen?
Oh yeah, of course. There we go.
I was like, why are you thinking about it so hard?
He knows. He
I was
knows.
The
See,
one
like it-
person that
yeah,
you're
yeah.
basing the movie off.
He knows a lot about game and stuff.
It'd be really funny if you did it, book him.
Yeah, Dylan, I was setting him up. So if you said somebody else, you would immediately be able to hit him with that, but
Well,
you
you-
jumped ahead of it.
He thought too hard.
Any other nuances to your film that we should know about?
I feel like I've outlined it pretty well.
I think so
I
too.
think you can kind of tell
Yeah.
what's going on. I have officially run out of PUA jargon, so I can't do that in a Woody Allen voice. I feel like I was maybe a little more confident in my Woody Allen impression in my mind than when I said it, so I'm just going to apologize. It would be really funny to make Pedro Pascal pretend to be Woody Allen, especially if Woody Allen's directing
Oh
him.
man,
I don't think he would do a good job, but that would make it funny.
He would try.
Yeah, you're damn right he would.
He'd be charming at it. All right, now the big reveal. We know that Justine is making a historical fiction picture. We know that she's very good with her budget, but what's the movie about? What's it called? What are we doing here?
Well, I recently, for some reason, was thinking about this movie a lot. The movie is Tombstone, and that's what I'd like to redo. Tombstone, the movie. And Cillian Murphy, he can play J. Robert Oppenheimer. He can play Wyatt Earp. He's the lead.
Fair.
And so his wife, who is a drug addict and dies, is Neve Campbell.
Ooh.
And the lady that he's cheating with, who is that actress who comes to town, is Saoirse Ronan.
Perfect.
His brother Morgan, who's the youngest Earp, is Dev Patel.
Oh, okay.
And his wife, who's kind of a throwaway character, but whatever, is Anna Kendrick.
Uh-huh.
Then we have Virgil, the eldest Earp, played by Mark Ruffalo. And his wife, Louisa, will be Julianne Moore. Then there's Curly Bill, which is the funny one. You know him.
Yeah.
That's Paul Rudd. And his sidekick, Ringo, is Riz Ahmed. And they're the best
Wow.
part of the movie, really.
That's great.
Doc was hard to think about, but Ryan Gosling is Doc.
The modern day Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Kate is going to be Anna de Armas, which kind of just made sense to me. Then you have the other bad guys. So there's Ike and Billy Clanton. Ike is the elder Clanton. That's Timothy Oliphant. And then
Wow.
Billy, the younger, is Josh Hartnett. And then since I had a little bit of money still, Stephen Yeun, I went with Mr. Fabian. He's the thespian actor that comes into town with Josephine, who was Billy Zane.
Are
in
you
the
sure you don't want him to
original
play a
movie.
telephone?
I know. A phone. This was pretty straightforward. I really would like to see these people in these roles. I didn't have enough money to cast the McLowry brothers, but whatever. You just off screen say they exist, and that's that.
Hey, Brent,
Yeah.
Who do you think remembers more, Justine about Tombstone or Dylan about Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
It's kind of a toss-up because
They
like,
both are deep
if I'm
knowledge.
looking, all right, I know how to settle this. I'm just gonna look at the number of names,
Right.
and roles. So I think like, yeah, if you were able to cast 20 different roles, I think you probably know the material
That's
a lot
true.
better than the person
Yeah.
that only used, maybe 13.
And if Dylan can remember characters like Wallet, I think that's a little bit more impressive than
Dude, that's the thing is like when he said wallet,
Yeah.
like I almost started crying.
I know, because you're remembering this iconic character from your
It's just
childhood.
like, wow, man, you know the heart of the movie.
Well, Colin naming out fucking Flat Tire was like, oh shit, how did I forget? For this mystery movie that I had a reboot. Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
See, I thought Baby with Cigar was about as like deep as we were gonna get. No, he's just like
Taxi was a legit pull. I'm fucking respect to Taxi. But by the time he got to Lamppost, I was like, all right, this motherfucker's out of steam.
No, because those are characters, I'm sure.
Taxi
Probably.
sold a bunch of merch, so yeah.
Yeah, Taxi, you ride the taxi in Toontown World.
Who was the fire hydrant?
I don't remember.
Was that Anya Taylor
I
Joy
think, yeah, Fire Hydrant is Anya Taylor-Joy.
for
I also
25
liked
credits?
Sandwich. A sandwich was another good one.
Those are not characters from that movie. We'll watch it right now.
I'm literally
at 5.5 speed.
tell them what we're watching next, Dylan, so that we can immediately start watching Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Unlimited.
Hey everybody, thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Regal Movie Masters Unlimited. Vroom vroom, let's ride. Gran Turismo, based on a true story. Gamers, rise. I'm actually looking forward to this movie. Should be a good time. Then we got Golda, the movie I can say we're all been waiting for, directed by Academy Award-winning director. And yeah, I'm going to say it right now. He directed Skin, the short film that he won the direction for. And I honestly recommend that really, really highly. That's a good short movie from Guy Native. And I can't say too much because I'm keeping it a surprise for myself. And now, consequently, a surprise for you. I will find you. I will beat you. I will have my retribution. That's right. Liam Neeson is back on the big screen and he's probably strapped with a gun again. I can't wait for this one. It sounds amazing.
Oh, and one more, Dylan. Don't forget.
What's that?
Asbestos, or beasts, as it's known in America, where we live.
Anyway, everybody, we'll see you at the movie. Bye.